will now jump ship to the newly formed PAC.
Well, this is on the Mountain West.
And the Mountain West will collapse.
It's on their leadership. I mean, they had an opportunity to make a deal ahead of this. Whether it would have held up or not, I don't know.
Yeah, should have got in front of this.
That's right.
I'll tell you, the best way to find yourself in one of these Power 4 conferences now is to be the Group 5 automatic. Like UNLV, how much more credibility are they going to have as a program if they get there this year?
That's right. Memphis, UNLV, by the way, hot to be the next one to join the MAC.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the Vegas market and what that program is doing. Memphis is another larger TV market that is not in a power conference. They're looking at them, also looking at Tulane. That PAC, that re-envisioned PAC, if they could get Cal and Stanford back to commit.
Oh, I think they will one day.
That'll be very interesting. That is our Ghost segment today. This segment brought to you by Ghost Energy and Ghost Hydration. Authentic flavors, zero sugars, no BS. Look for Ghost Energy and Ghost Hydration at all retailers that sell energy and hydration drinks near you. It's our friends at Ghost. Don't forget all of our content, including covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com, available right now. Premium content starting at $1 a month. Sign up there and see if you love all the content about your favorite team. But a lot of free shows every day, and sometimes multiple shows a day, free for you Bama and Auburn fans right there at covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com. That's our show today. Bama and Bourbon will be one of those shows. They're about to record that one. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
I command your chances so wide. Still my thoughts must run the course, and they do. Does my memory comfort you while your eyes see me through? Well, it's 10 years later and still I haven't a clue. Oh, I'm crying. Caution breathes a lonely breath. Love withstands but time must rest at night, and it does. Does my memory comfort you while your eyes see me through? Well, it's 10 years later and still I haven't a clue. Oh, I'm crying. Often see even alone the time but still my thoughts must run their course.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Here we go, live show now on a Wednesday?
That's right.
It's a
Indeed,
Wednesday.
Jim.
It's a
Indeed.
Wednesday. It's been one of those weeks for me.
Why are you so dressed up?
I do have a collared shirt on and no hat today. Had a chance to help out.
Like you're selling insurance today.
Come on down. Call me, Alabama.
Can I get a good rate?
The leaders, Alabama
By the way,
leaders.
just shout a text off to somebody like that.
Alabama Leaders Summit this morning for the Foundry Missions that helps 256 beds here in the Birmingham area with men that are dealing with substance abuse and addiction, trying to get them back on track. Athletic Director Greg Byrne from Alabama was the guest speaker, and I had a chance to MC that. I think I've been emceeing it every year since 2013, maybe, long time ago. Dabo was one of the first speakers. He had gotten the job at Clemson, and Nick Saban's been there. Greg Sankey was the guest last year, and Greg Byrne this year. So it was a good morning. So I'm not as prepared as I usually am.
Oh, no.
Oh,
So-
gosh.
Oh, no.
What are we going to do?
Let's do 2 hours.
So here we go. Let's see.
2 hours? You want to shut it down
Man,
early?
we'll try to carry you.
Yeah, let's
It's gonna
see.
be really tough.
Lance and I get to flex our muscle today.
There's sarcasm. I am swimming in sarcasm in here.
Hey, you set yourself up for it.
I am swimming in sarcasm this morning. Appreciate all the love at the show. It was really good. Since we're swimming in sarcasm already, Rockstar, can we go cut 9 just off the top here before we get to any serious stuff? I did not know. I texted this to Scott Forester last night. I did not know our boy Lance Taylor and my boy Dabo Sweeney had a little common thread on them.
Lance does not like Dabo. The common thread is they're both from Alabama.
Yep, both born in Alabama.
Yeah.
I think they
Both
have
dark hair, Homo sapiens.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Didn't know where that was going to end when it started.
Both love meat, mouth breathers. And also they have this childlike love. I'm going to call it a childlike love for technology. Here's Dabo Sweeney off of his off week.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I am a big YouTube TV guy now. All right, I discovered I finally figured out how to get that freaking app on my phone. It's like an act of Congress. I mean, you got to have like birth certificates and all kind of stuff to get some of these things. I mean, like I don't know all these codes from, who's your provider. I mean, it's some crazy stuff on there. But anyway, I got the YouTube TV, and man, it was awesome. I had my phone going. I had my iPad going with 4-screen, and I had the TV going. I would imagine some of y'all probably did the same thing, because that's what you do for a living, right? Like, y'all gotta know what the heck's going on. I mean, we had a lot of teams playing that we're going to play, and so that's really what I did all day. I just watched ball all day, and it was awesome.
It's like he discovered
and
fire.
it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Saw some good stuff, saw some bad stuff, just enjoyed it.
Okay, so I'm not going to be hypocritical here because we are a streaming service, so to speak. But I do think it is so much easier in this regard. Like people that ask me early on, how do we consume you? I would always, the simple way to do this, how do you check the weather every day? Well, I've got a weather app. I hit it right here. Well, just download the app and you just hit that. It is much different with television. When you've got all these different streaming services, you got to put in passcodes. Sometimes you get signed out. Million different things going on. The guides aren't what they once were. It's a pain in the ass to stream. Yeah. DirecTV was so simple.
Yeah, because you were used to DirecTV.
Yeah.
I remember when I went from Spectrum to DirecTV, that it was like I was on the space shuttle, and I had a lot of new devices, and look, I can make this choice or this choice. You get used to it eventually.
I don't see anybody saying that there is simplicity when it comes to television streaming services.
So here's
now.
the
There's
thing.
just not.
Lance, here's the
YouTube
thing,
TV
though,
is easy.
that I was hesitant about in going to a streaming TV is I liked the ability to flip channels.
Right.
But you know what I never do anymore? I never watch TV.
Yeah. You're talking about like...
Yeah, but you never watch TV really during the week. You would watch games on Saturday, and you had that ability to switch and go back and forth on those, which I thought was a lot simpler than what you've got to deal with now. Like there are certain games.
Oh, no, I don't. See, I would actually disagree on that because, now I just hit one button and the bottom pops up and every game I've been watching is
Okay, I'm trying to think of a game last week that was on, and it was not available on my YouTube. Like when I would go down and go all the way across, I couldn't find it.
Okay.
And I'll tell you
that may happen. I don't know about that.
It
now.
does happen.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, I have done
Like it was on Peacock or something. It wasn't being broadcast over FS1 or CBS Sports.
Something like that. But you got to go out. You got to go to a different app.
That is where it is more complicated.
It's a pain in the ass.
No, it's more complicated.
This new model sucks. It sucks.
It's more complicated when the games are streaming
It
only.
ain't just me.
No.
It's more complicated when I have to leave YouTube TV and
That's
go to
right.
Peacock. I 100% agree with Lance on that one.
Yeah, it would be
No.
cool if
I thought you were just talking about if they're all on YouTube TV or whatever. So,
It would be cool if YouTube TV had a deal where they could put that Peacock app, that icon on there. You just go.
Well, if you're paying for all of it, what does it matter?
Yeah. Maybe there's a maybe this is an invention. So, like, if I've got YouTube TV, we don't have the brain power to do this. So I'm just going to throw it out.
Yeah, but sweat equity. Surely we get something.
Keith's
for it.
right. DirecTV was easy until you had to call customer service. I'll give you that. Well, you couldn't understand them, and you can't get subtitles through a phone.
Or until the rainstorm blow through.
I really never had that
Well,
problem.
I did. Well, I got a lot of
I have
trees.
much more problems with the buffering now with the streaming.
Oh, see,
than I
I've had
ever
no issue with that. The whole thing about downloading the YouTube TV app, Dabo was talking about it like it was, getting man to the moon.
I know.
That was the night I came home from 3340 and turned on my DirecTV stream. I was DirecTV stream. This was just a couple of weeks ago. And ABC 3340 was blocked and LSU and USC were playing. That was the night I was done with DirecTV stream. There was nothing they could say, nothing they could do. Like, I'm missing LSU USC. Fortunately, was able to get it on the ESPN app on my television and watch it. But that next day was Labor Day. I called and canceled DirecTV. I canceled DirecTV, got YouTube TV, downloaded the app, and had it set up in under 10 minutes.
Under 10 minutes.
I don't know how it was that hard for Dabo.
and nobody came to your house.
Not a
My
person.
takeaway before we move on to what's going on in the sports world, get to our college conversations in college football, and what is it turning into a much talked about big, huge game for the Auburn Tigers this weekend. I will point out that Dabo said he had one TV, he had something going on his phone, and then 4 screens on his iPad. Are you telling me that Dabo Swinney, a really still relatively young American male with his money, doesn't have a room that has multiple TVs in it?
I know what this is. Dabo is married to a Maggie, where she's like, you got one TV. One TV, that is it. Aesthetically, this looks the best in this room. You can have as many devices when nobody's over.
I heard.
That was the more surprising thing for me, real quick, Brown, was that I've never heard coaches say that they've actually sat back and watched a bunch of games.
No, most of them were like,
Never heard that.
I was able to see one game.
I was watching film.
Yeah.
I was watching film, man.
I had heard that now this could have changed because it's several years ago, but this is from an impeccable source on this. I've never been in Dabo's house, but I know people that have. And there was like this recruiting room at Clemson, game room, all that Dabo had.
The one with the slide?
No, but there was a recruiting room. That slide may go to the room or whatever, or be near it. But the Dabo in his house had a replica of that room. Maybe not to scale, but everything that was in the recruiting room at Clemson was in this room in Dabo's basement. Like, so when recruits came over, they had the same space at Dabo's house.
It's kind of weird.
So I'm going to say that he probably didn't have to skimp on TVs. The thing that jumped out at me is I've got, an iPad here. Quad box too small for
Yeah, I
an
don't do
iPad.
quad box on that. I would do that on the TV.
It's got to be a big screen. Even on a 32, the quad box is too small for me.
Come on, Dabo. Spend a little of that money. Head down to Best Buy and pick up some TVs.
I will say that we have gotten spoiled because I remember going to the Super Bowl that, not a humble brag, by the way, I'm just playing this out in memory, but flying out to Arizona when the Giants lost to, or the Giants beat the Patriots, that Super Bowl.
Oh, this is where the chat gets on you for you had to fly commercial.
Oh, I always fly commercial. Yeah, that's the only way I fly.
Exactly, Travis.
And it was Southwest, I'm sure. But I had the is it an iPod?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching the Magnificent Seven on a iPod. The whole movie.
How could you know what was going on?
I mean, literally, I had the plugs in, but I mean, it was watching on a 2-inch screen.
But how amazing was that technology? Oh, my God.
Yeah,
I
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Watching a movie in flight.
Watch this. I'll bring Tyler or Lunceford will know this answer. It was a meltdown trivia question of how they came up with the name iPod. And I missed it. Was that from Star Trek, Star Wars?
It's from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
2001: Space
How about
Odyssey.
that?
That gave them the inspiration to name it iPod.
Huh.
Isn't that crazy?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Hey,
By the way, don't we play for the championship? Is that today or next week?
I think it's next week. It's Meltdown Live.
Tentatively next week.
Okay.
It's what next week?
I think tentatively next week.
Tentatively next
We
week.
could have a schedule change, apparently.
It could be a tie in today's countdown meltdown.
Damn, don't we know when you're playing for a championship, we need to know kick time,
Well,
don't we?
well,
They
we
got
know
one-
TV.
They've got the meltdown today
Could be ESPN, could be CBS, could be the next round. You
You never know.
with other quality. We're either in the 2:30 window or the 7:30 window, right?
Yeah.
More on that in a second, by the way. I just they got another qualifier today, so Meltdown Live 2:00. Check it out, and we'll see who we're playing in the finals.
Can I just quickly remind you, though, there was a time on New Year's Day that Randy Brown would get in the crawl space under our house, pull the cable out of Mom and Dad's room, run it up to me and my brother in the den so we could hook up 2 TVs and watch the bowl game.
Did we ever have a problem with like a storm going on where Randy was like, I got to wait to get in the crawl space till the lightning subsides?
I don't know. This was on New Year's Day, and we would have 2 TVs set up in the den watching 2 bowl games. And, buddy, you want to talk about thinking I was living my best life? 2 TVs with 2 games on at the same time? I was
the
like,
best.
oh, my gosh.
Royal
it does not
Pain
get better
in
than
the,
this.
Royal Pain in the mybookie.ag chat room. There's basically an iPad in one of the scenes in 2001 Space Odyssey is what Lunceford and Tyler were talking about. It's where they got the inspiration from. Interesting thing that gets us going today. Interesting thing going on with our friends at Milo's. We were talking about helping those today with some addiction issues and getting them back on track. There are people in our viewing area, some that may be watching us right now, that struggle just with meals or have neighbors that struggle with meals. Our friends at Milo's helping that out today.
Yeah, really sad. I don't know if a lot of people realize that 1 in 5 kids right here in Central Alabama experience hunger. This is why Milo's Hamburgers is joining the fight to end hunger and invites you to do the same. From September 4th to the 20th, Milo's Hamburgers hosting a food drive at all their restaurant locations benefiting the Food Bank of Central Alabama. Milo's customers who donate canned goods or any non-perishable food item will get a free regular drink for their support. Together we can make a difference. Stop in to one of those great locations of Milo's for lunch or dinner.
And our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Men, staying on top of your health, especially when it comes to this, so important, because early detection is vital. You got anything from Urology Centers of Alabama, between prostate health to kidney stones, they'll take care of you. 16 locations. Find the one closest to you. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. UrologyCentersAlabama.com to schedule the appointment and go see the great urologist at Urology Centers of Alabama. The big non-on-the-field story out from yesterday is that there appears to be now a plan in place. Now, it's got to get voted on and tweaked and pulled from the ACC to try to satisfy Clemson, Florida State, and anyone else who's upset with the amount of money each school gets. The details are shaky right now on exactly how much money would actually be going into the pockets of Florida State and Clemson compared to what they're getting now. In other words, it's really gray area on how much it's going to close the gap that's been talked about between how much the ACC gets and how much SEC and Big Ten schools are getting. My biggest takeaway of this whole thing is that one of the clauses in this deal, if it passes, it's going to take the grant of rights, which is the one that's holding the league together, from 2036 to 2030. Now, if it's 2024, that's cutting, in my simple mind, that's cutting, you got to pay that grant of rights to get out. That's now cutting that payment in half. If you're Florida State and Clemson, if you ever have a landing space, and right now I don't know if they have a landing space, but if they ever did, if Fox and the Big Ten decided, man, we're tired of putting Marshall and Ohio State in our main broadcast, we need a couple more brands in this Big Ten so our schedule looks a little bit better, the buyout now gets cut in half if this goes through. When the grants of rights only goes through 2030.
I think when we say out loud that the big noon kickoff is Marshall, Ohio State, it looks really bad. I don't think that's ever going to be the point. Well, I mean, look, if it does get to eyeballs and the viewership is way down, then it could possibly get to that point. There's not a landing spot. That's like the three of us sitting there and looking at guys that do what we do in New York, and we're like, damn, they make 3 times as much. I want New York money. Well, New York doesn't want me.
That's right.
Like, I'm not good enough to be in New York. Well, Florida State and Clemson, I don't think nobody wants them.
I've listened to New York. You're good enough to be in New York.
Yeah. You see my point, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think there's a landing spot for these schools, and unfortunately, they're in the ACC and they're the brands that they are, and until the viewership goes down, nothing's going to be done about this.
Brown, I think they're there will be a landing spot for him.
I do not. No, I think Clemson and Florida State know they're trapped in the ACC.
I think they are too.
I think they're trying to get this deal and be done with it. This is all beating the drum so they could get this deal, and then they're going to be done with it. So who wants them? Why would you want Clemson and Florida? Tell me who wants them.
I'm telling you that, in my opinion, somewhere down the road,
the Big Ten does not.
I don't think it'll be the SEC. I think it'll be the Big Ten.
Not big enough markets for the Big Ten. Well, I mean, what's Clemson, South Carolina, and Tallahassee, Florida do for the Big Ten? They are in.
And I do think the Big Ten still holds on to academics.
They're in Chicago and L.A. and New York.
And I know some people that went to Florida State, so I don't think it's like
at some point
those markets don't help them.
At some point, though, it's about the brand. I mean, if you look at you know who doesn't jump on to the top 10 viewed games each weekend.
Marshall.
It's just good.
That is
true. Mean, there's some good football teams that are not in the most viewed games every week. Sometimes brand matters.
Yeah. I think Florida State and Clemson will be way down the list of Big Ten teams.
By the way,
from the ACC.
I don't know if you saw Clemson get skull dragged by Georgia.
I did.
I don't know how good that brand still is.
I watched it.
Florida State's about to be possibly 0-4 after this weekend.
That's why I was laughing. I was like, they've got these ACC meetings, and the Florida State people are at the table demanding more money, and they've got to be saying, look, guys, we know, we watch it.
Yeah.
Well, and you know
but
what?
We're normally really good. You got to admit, historically, we've been better than this.
But sometimes your viewership goes up for a train wreck, and the way this model is going to work, if you're going to get paid basically off of being the most watched teams.
Well, so be either really good or really bad.
But you know, Cal's sitting there, and they're like, how greedy is this? Cal basically is the mom that works a job just to pay for childcare.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what they're
it's
doing.
A break-even proposition.
With all their travel expenses, they are breaking even whatever dollars they're getting in the ACC.
Yeah.
It's just like trying to keep our head above water.
Yeah, I think they're paying their own way right now. I know SMU is. So that was the big story yesterday. Everyone seems to be talking about. I hate when these stories break during
I do too.
the actual football season because there's so much to get to and so much to talk about.
And I do agree with the Royal Payne, though. I think if you wanted to just like get this thing down to 3 power conferences, Florida State and Clemson might be able to take control of the Big 12 and negotiate some kind of deal to go over to that league.
It'd be, to me, far more likely than the Big Ten. It will not be the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, I could see 3 leagues of 20.
The SEC, there are at least 4 teams, if not more. I am very, very, very confident in saying this. At least 4 teams. The SEC would take over Clemson and Florida State out of the ACC.
Yeah.
Just the ACC.
2 of them are in North Carolina. 2 of them are in Virginia. Is that close?
That really narrows it down on the state of Virginia, not as much on the state of North Carolina, but you are correct. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been talked about for a while that they are.
No, I'm very confident that there are 4 in the ACC that the SEC would take before you ever got to Clemson or South Carolina.
That's why I didn't say the SEC. Or
Clemson or Florida State, I'm sorry.
Clemson becomes a flyover state for where the SEC wants to go
Right,
at that point.
right.
All right, show being brought to you. One more big thing in our opening segment. Dusty Dvoracek, by the way. Dusty freaking Dvoracek, Oklahoma's own. Sirius XM in the morning with us at 9:40. Pretty big weekend in Norman as Oklahoma plays their first ever SEC game. Can't wait to talk to Dusty. And an old friend of ours is back on the show, Bo Mattingly. Arkansas fans know Bo very well. He's on the show with us at 11 Central today. We'll talk to Bo about what is being called. Taylor and I were talking about it earlier, the Hope Bowl. More on the Hope Bowl, Arkansas and Auburn down at Jordan-Hare this week. Coming up in just a moment. Show being brought to you in part today by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Brownie, tell us any line movement on that Auburn game
Still
so
at
far?
3. I looked this morning. One of the first things I looked at to see where mybookie.ag had that Auburn game. Still at 3. Again, I tell you, your play's the total, Lance. Listen to me. I know lanceslock.com. You got all the guys back there in the back smoke-filled room coming up with your plays this weekend.
Yeah.
Tell them over the number. It's track meet. I'm here to tell you.
Still sitting at 58?
58 right now. This is free money for you.
Somebody's
Lance.
running out. Boss,
right.
I got some insider information.
Get the cigarette out. I got some inside information, boss.
Before
Auburn,
the game's even been played.
Auburn, Arkansas, -3 Auburn. 58 is your total. Over. MyBookie.ag is where you play those games.
Yeah, and also go ahead.
Code next round at mybookie.ag gets you double your initial deposit. You make that deposit, they double it for you right there. They match your deposit, so you got free money to play with right away if you want to jump on that Auburn-Arkansas game. MyBookie.ag, code next round to get that bonus. Code next round when you make your initial deposit and get that great bonus at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag.
Go ahead.
Go next round. You're excited about this one, Jim. I'm going to back out and let you go, man. I don't know what you're about to tell me, but you are so fired up to tell me. Go!
It's our friends at NASCAR, man. You know, it's
so
fast.
fast.
It keeps zigging and zagging. NASCAR is coming back to Talladega. Talladega Super Speedway. You get a wonderful ticket there at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. You got the rodeo on Friday with the truck race, the Jake Owen concert Saturday night, the Talladega Concert Series, and then the big race on Sunday. Don't forget the garage experience from Cool Ray. It's all right there in time at the TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. 877-GO-TO-DEGA is where you get that ticket there. Okay, whoever said it on the show yesterday, tightrope surgery, they're right. Georgia's Tate Ratledge, tightrope surgery is going to be out for a while. 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, but Brock Bowers is only out, I think, 2 weeks. Am I right about that?
Was there a bye involved?
Maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
I think it was 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that was an exceptionally fast comeback. I always point to Tua when he had tightrope between the SEC championship game and the Orange Bowl against Oklahoma. And Alabama was still uncertain if he was going to be able to go. It was a literal game time decision. He had practiced, but they brought him out early to run on the Hard Rock Stadium turf, which can be iffy, just to see if his ankle held up. So, I mean, that was like 30-some-odd days.
Right. He did not have tightrope before that. The last time President Trump was at the Alabama game, Alabama-LSU 2019, he was banged up, I remember. He wasn't 100%. That wasn't after a tightrope,
I don't think so, no. I think the only tightrope he had was in 18 between – the SEC championship game that Jalen Hurts had to finish and the Orange Bowl against Oklahoma.
Yeah. So that's a big story. He'll obviously miss the Alabama game a week from Saturday. Then we'll see if he's back in time for Texas, which I think would – I mean, they got a stretch there of big games. They play Ole Miss on the road too. So we'll see if Tate's back. He's a big part of what Georgia likes to do there. Final thing in this segment, we've become big Mike Gundy fans on this show. And yesterday at his news conference, Rockstar Cut 8, may have been Monday or Tuesday, his news conference earlier this week, Mike Gundy gets tired of the noise.
I just laugh looking at him.
Mike Gundy gets tired of the noise and does...
That would work in Florida. You know, Dunaway
you're
brought this up
You're
yesterday.
right, Dunaway. I mean, that fits right in Gainesville.
Pull it up. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, if you just change that orange to Florida Gator orange.
That's right. Yep. He looks like a fan. He looks like they drug a fan out of the upper deck and said, "Can you do the post game for us?"
Yeah. If you pull that Florida Gator shirt down a little bit on that necklace, little shark tooth.
Oh,
from Alvin's,
no doubt about
Alvin's
it.
Island.
No doubt about it, my friend.
You know, and I don't know if you guys remember this. The running back for Kansas City who played for UCLA last year, the transfer, blonde locks. God, why does his name escape me right now? He's got the pet alligator. Had a couple of critical carries late in the game against Cincinnati this past weekend. Had a fumble early. Do you guys know who I'm talking about?
I do, but I can't say his name either.
Yeah, anyway, I'll come to it. But he's got a pet crocodile. Like if this, or a pet alligator. If Gundy had a pet alligator, wouldn't surprise you, would
Carson Steele.
Carson Steele.
That's right, Carson Steele.
Yeah, if you said Gundy had a pet alligator in that Bass Pro Shop he lives in.
I don't understand the pet. We'll getting away from Gundy here for a second. I don't understand Carson's pet alligator. I mean,
you can't like hang out with it, right?
You put it in the tub with your drug money is what I've always seen in the movies.
Yeah,
well, he doesn't run drugs.
Oh, okay.
He has the mouth taped, which can't be happy for the alligator.
No.
You don't really pet it. It's not going to snuggle up next to you. Doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, I agree.
I mean, a dog at least, snuggle up, happy to see you.
You're making a statement if you got a pet alligator. Like the
drug, he got it given to him as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, and I forgot it's like Crocky J, I think is his name. Yeah. That's pathetic. I couldn't pull Carson Still, but I got Crocky J.
Crocky J. I know the name of his alligator.
Here we go. Here's Carson holding it.
That's a big alligator.
Yeah.
For your house. I mean, if that alligator
is that just electrical tape? Like, what do we got to close the snout with?
Yeah. Duct tape. I mean, whatever you got
hanging
around.
It is black. Maybe just electrical tape.
Am I right about this? All the brains in the back room. You guys can answer too, but very powerful closing. But
they can't open their mouths well. They're weak opening. Closing is amazing. Opening, not so much.
So even my weak,
you can hold it with your hand.
Yeah, hard for me to open the Coke Zero bottle. I can still hold it shut.
Yeah.
Can I make one more observation? Carson still does not skip leg day. That thigh.
Oh, that's why he's so effective.
My gosh, it's almost deformed. It's so large. Look how big his right thigh is. I mean, he's got his short hiked up just a little bit. My Lord, that's a big quad.
Hey, I bet that alligator's looking at it too. Their peripheral's good. He's
One
like,
day.
hey, let me out of this electric tape.
Yeah, you get me out of this tape and it'll be a
That
fight.
is mine.
Yeah, I'm going to take 2 legs and a side. That's all I want. All right, back to Mike Gunday. Mike Gunday.
Gunday.
Mike Gunday. If he ever coaches in Sydney, he'd be Gunday. Yeah, obviously, we enjoy the great products from Coca-Cola and the very quiet machine they put in here in our studio. We appreciate the quietness of that cooler so much. The other companies, not so good for Mike Gundy.
With Kansas, you go back and...
I mean, y'all can't. There's no way y'all can hear very good.
It's not easy.
It's like crowd noise
Yeah.
in the game.
There's got to be a plug, right?
There is. We got to get this thing out of here.
So we just. Oh no! There's your problem.
Please don't knock it over.
Does anybody have a tow truck out there?
Can we get your players on an NIL deal for Pepsi to come up here and move this thing?
Well, they make way too much money to move this.
What is he doing? What? Is he going to unwire it?
If he got electrocuted, that would be bad, right? Does that go viral?
Here we go.
Please don't get crushed.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That thing's. Oh, they're just unplugging them. Okay.
That's okay. we got Robert fully indoctrinated.
Okay,
This is an accomplishment.
Teamwork.
not quite the dig at Pepsi that Lane Kiffin took at Coke.
No,
but I don't think Pepsi probably appreciates you unplugging their product.
Pointing out
and how it has gone viral.
He said, does anybody have a tow truck out there?
I'm just afraid he's trying to become the new Mike Leach. Because, we had some sound from him a couple of weeks ago where he was talking about the guy up in Michigan, the Connor Stallions guy. We need one of those guys.
Yeah.
And he's starting to get a little off script.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it too. And did you hear the sort of shot? They were like, why don't you get a few players in here to move it? They make too much NIL money to come in here and move this.
No, this year, I don't know what it is, but this year's version of Mike Leach, or excuse me, there I go. Mike Gundy is the most enjoyable Mike Gundy I've had. Like we kind of got on him at Big 12 Media Day. He kind of sounded like a dummy talking about Ollie Gordon's suspension.
I mean, he was just being honest.
But since the season has started, actually, it's been a pretty fun Mike Gundy. Now, I wonder if
he always seemed a lot tighter, tighter than this.
I wonder if they had lost to Arkansas, if it'd be different. I mean, he's 3-0, but he could easily be 2-1 right now.
This game is so big.
Huge game this week.
So big. This game is much bigger on the national landscape than Oklahoma, Tennessee.
Now, when they zoomed out and he had a T-shirt tucked into slacks.
Gundy being
Would
Gundy.
you guys agree with me on the national perspective?
I'm going to set you up to explain yourself. LT is saying, on a national perspective, Utah, Oklahoma State, bigger than Tennessee and Oklahoma. I would imagine it's because fewer bids available, right?
Well, fewer bids available. I do believe the winner of this game will play for the Big 12 championship. And on the other side, even if Oklahoma springs an upset, they have absolutely no shot of navigating any less than three losses.
Yeah,
based on the Oklahoma product I've seen.
Yeah. So what you're essentially saying is you think Oak State or Kansas State could be in the playoffs. You really don't think Oklahoma can.
Yeah, I think the winner of this game could be undefeated.
Yeah. So that's the one game you think features two playoff teams, potentially Tennessee, Oklahoma. You don't believe that, even if Oklahoma beats Tennessee.
Yeah, and I do think Tennessee could be a playoff team.
Yeah,
but I expect Tennessee to win this game. And
I do too.
And even if Oklahoma, I think the winner of Utah, Oklahoma State is in the Big 12 championship.
Because you're saying even if Oklahoma beats Tennessee, still finding a 10-2 record is going to be near impossible for them.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, a couple of great sponsors of our show. We'll get to the next segment, which includes Dusty Dvoracek. Show being brought to you in part today, LT, by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa.
Great place to go. Not only for yourself, you just want to unwind. I know EG and Taylor have gone by the Woodhouse Day Spa before. But if you're planning a big weekend, you've got guys coming over, you want to go to a sports bar, you want to watch football all day on Saturday, how about this? Give the wife or girlfriend a gift card from the Woodhouse Day Spa And she's not going to care. She can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. You can order that special gift card online. Go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Gift card, simple solution. Buy them 24/7 online or stop by, see Stuart and that great staff and tell them the Next Round sent you.
And our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Just start by going to their website, aplanforme.com. If you're tired of waking up, and you're not happy with the way your clothes fit, the way you look, how you feel, you can change all that with one trip to aplanforme.com. That's Way to Wellness. Leslie and her board-certified team will absolutely take care of you. No cookie-cutter plan. Everything's designed specifically for you. For me, it's blood pressure and cholesterol. Blood pressure and cholesterol. The Meltdown guys, they're there as well. It can be weight loss or anything else. There's several different options you've got. No contract, no sign-up fees, and you get a free consultation. The website, again, is aplanforme.com. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Follow LT on Twitter at thelancetaylor.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Are you tired of buying your CPAP mask and supplies online only to be disappointed? It's time to visit CPAP Plus, your locally owned and operated CPAP shop that prides itself on personal service. Come see what you're buying at CPAP Plus with 3 convenient locations in Pelham, Highway 280, and now open in Trustful. Drop by for a free CPAP checkup and free filters, no appointment needed. Plus, sign up for their giveaway for a chance to win a free travel CPAP machine. Just Google CPAP Plus or visit any of those 3 locations. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
By now, you guys know how I feel about my fashion. However, did you know that I care about your fashion choices? Cargo shorts are out, flip-flops are only appropriate on the boat, and please throw away that stained t-shirt from college. You may be thinking, EG, that's all I own. What do I do? Here's what you do. Go to nextround.store and fill your cart with a wardrobe that is approved by me. Stock up on logo t-shirts, hoodies for football season, and hats for every day of the week. Trust me on this one and head over to nextround.store to get stocked up for this season.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, you feel that? That's fall in the air. And New Balance Birmingham got your fresh fall pair to kick it during game time and sport from the sideline. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280 right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Our friends at Milo's Hamburger invites you to join them in the fight against hunger in our local communities by bringing non-perishable food items to your local Milo's, including canned goods. When you donate a canned good or any non-perishable food item, Milo's will give you a free drink. Together, we can make a difference.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Back with you on the next round. Dusty Dvoracek in about 6 minutes will join the show. We got a lot of great events coming up over the next few weeks, including a new Bud Light game night. We'll tell you the location coming up very shortly. We appreciate Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy for your football happening this weekend. The show also today being brought to you by Lance's Lock and our friends at Hemp Hill. Lance'sLock.com. Football starts back tomorrow night. Your plays on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Getting ready for the weekend right now. Jump on board. Come out 14-7-1 last weekend in both the NFL and college football. Jump on and win with us. Go to Lance'sLock.com. Check out the new website. Free play every single day. You can monitor it there, but we'd love for you to jump on, try us out for a month, see what you think. Always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services, 205-229-2090. Trusted in Birmingham's trusted since 1954 for your plumbing, heating, and cooling issues. They are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Listen, Greg from Pell City understands that things can be tight sometimes, and you may say, man, I can't afford to get a roof guy out to take a look at the roof, but I am worried about it, honey. I'm worried. That storm, that was bad last night. I'm worried about it, honey. Well, guess what? Greg from Pell City Storm Restoration Roofing gives you a free no-cost roof inspection. Let Greg come out and work with you. Such a good down-home guy. He'll make it happen for you. 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531. That's his cell number. Right to his phone, right on his hip there. Or maybe his back pocket. I don't know where he keeps it. Storm Restoration Roofing, A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. He handles storm repairs and roof replacements as well. You can look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City, 205-542-3531. El Tigre says, where's the Peyton Thorne video from yesterday?
Yeah, that's the story.
Peyton Thorne not here yesterday. He did let us know. So we will hopefully maybe Peyton's back next Tuesday at 9:20. We'll see a little bit on how the Arkansas-Auburn game goes away this week coming up. All right. So it was Chris over in the mybookie.ag chat room. He said if Cam Rising had played this weekend in the Utah-Oklahoma State, it would be pretty impressive age-wise.
Yeah, these are two old quarterbacks. Cam Rising's been there a minute. Alan Bowman actually been there longer.
Yeah, a little surprising to me. Do you have the numbers on this?
I'm going to tell you a fact about Cam Rising, and you've got the numbers, right?
Yeah, I've got some numbers, yeah.
The fact about Cam Rising blows me away. Cam Rising's first commitment in high school, the first team he committed to was Oklahoma and head coach Bob Stoops.
Oh, wow.
That is how long Cam Rising
Stoops
has been playing college football, is that his first commitment was to Oklahoma head coach Bob Stoops.
Now, that's forever ago. I would assume that was like his junior year probably.
2016, I think it was, Lance.
So Cam Rising's 25. He is going to play this week, by the way. I think that Kyle Whittingham probably said, you know what, with the banged up finger, let's let it get healthy for Stillwater. I think we can go through the motions, beat the Aggies, which they did handily. Isaac Wilson actually played pretty good in a backup role. I don't think Isaac Wilson's good enough to go on the road and beat Oklahoma State. Cam Rising, 25 years old. Alan Bowman, 24. Combined career starts in college. What do you think?
Combined career starts for Alan Bowman and Cam Rising?
Yep.
I think Alan Bowman probably has 40. Rising has missed a whole year, though. I'm going to say 63 combined starts.
Ooh, I'm going to say 79.
72 combined starts.
72 combined starts.
So you've got a lot of experience in this matchup.
I almost said 100.
Oh, 100.
They're old.
Dusty Dvoracek is with us now. You see him on ESPN. You hear him on Sirius XM every single morning with Danny Cannell. Dunaway frequently a guest on that show because Dusty does not like me and Lance. He only likes Dunaway. He is with us now on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What is up, Dusty? How are you?
Good, boys. How we doing?
Awesome.
Got some action in Norman this week, huh?
Yes, we do. We were, by the way, just talking about that other game in your state, Oklahoma State and Kansas State.
Bigger game.
Lance says,
Utah.
Oklahoma State, Utah, excuse me. Lance says bigger game. I was pointing out that Cam Rising committed to Bob Stoops. That was his first commit was to Bob Stoops at Oklahoma. That's how long Cam Rising has been playing football.
Yes. I believe the combined age in the quarterbacks of that game is 49.
That's right.
Which I think I saw a stat of some of the starting matchups in the National Football League, and it pales in comparison to what we're going to see on Saturday. So, bigger game, that's a great question. I think the two biggest matchups of college football are in the state of Oklahoma. But I don't know if I don't think it's a bigger matchup than.
Can I say my piece and then you tell me if you agree with this? Like, even if Oklahoma was to spring the upset, Dusty, I still think Oklahoma's going to find 3 or 4 losses with that ridiculous schedule coming up. Tennessee's expected to win this game. The winner of Utah or Oklahoma State, it's going to be difficult for them to find 2 losses after that game. So I think the winner of that game will be in the Big 12 championship in a one-game situation to get an automatic bid. That's all I'm saying. Like, that game, to me, has more of an impact from being in a college football playoff in a couple of months than Oklahoma and Tennessee does.
I think that's fair. Now, I will say if Tennessee wins this game, boy, you start to look at their path to the playoff, and it's pretty clear, right? So I don't want to say win this game, Vols, and you're in, but I think that they've got a pretty direct path too. You're right. Oklahoma's remaining schedule is very, very difficult, but it is nice to be here in the great state of Oklahoma with so many eyeballs here on what's going on. And you mentioned, I know we want to talk about Tennessee, Oklahoma, but I did have Oklahoma State, Arkansas a few weeks ago. I find that Utah matchup fascinating. And then Cowboys go to Manhattan next week. Ooh. So they have back-to-back weeks that if Mike Gundy can split and find a way to win 2, then you think a direct path there to Arlington for a Big 12 championship. So I'm excited for both these matchups. But you guys didn't have me on here today to talk Big 12 football.
No.
You guys didn't have me on here to talk about it. You had me to talk about my game.
That's right.
Mississippi State, Florida.
No. I had you on here because I need to ask, how's Cannell doing with the Florida State Seminoles 0-3? Hard to talk shit with them 0-3 right now. Yeah.
He's gotten so desperate. He's decided to grow out a rally beard already at 0-3. He's decided that the Noles are jinxed, and the only thing that can fix this jinx is him not shaving his beard. So it's kind of at this point it's tough to even continue to criticize. Like, at this point, I'm just curious, can they win a game? Like, Cal coming into town this week, you guys saw them up close and personal against Auburn a few weeks ago. Justin Wilcox got that team playing well, got that defense taking the football away. So I think the Noles got their hands full again this week. They're trying to search for their first victory. So he's an easy target right now, boys. Easy target.
Dusty, this might sound ridiculous because Oklahoma is 15th. They're undefeated. But watching them, and you know this, that offensive line has some problems. They've been great against the run. Are there Oklahoma fans that are worried maybe that Tennessee is going to come in and stomp a mud hole in them?
Yes.
In short, yes.
Because I hear from them on my phone. I think here's the reality. This is what I think Oklahoma fans here early on the season, which we still don't know. Neither one of these teams have truly been tested yet. I don't know how good NC State is, and it sure looks like Tennessee's great. But I think the feeling, not just here in Soonerland, but across college football, Tennessee's really, really good, and Oklahoma is just, we don't quite know what they are, right? And so I think that's fair based off of what we've seen to this point. Now, you guys know how college football is. That can all change like that, and this is going to be I do expect a fantastic atmosphere. There is a lot of buzz in Norman about the first SEC game, Josh Heupel coming back home, all those things. College game day back on campus. I mean, heck, my wife and kids are going down to game day on Saturday morning. So, like, everybody's really fired up. And I think that when the Oklahoma fans want to, and when they dial it up, it can be a really hostile territory. So I think that is what's in store for Nico and for this offense. And, this will be his first test on the road. He went to a bowl game, obviously, against a good Iowa defense last year, had a lot of success, especially on the ground. I would say it was probably more of a Tennessee-heavy crowd there in Charlotte earlier this month. So this will be his first road test, and this will be the best defense that he's faced since being the starter of this Tennessee offense. So I think Oklahoma fans are pretty realistic, and there's a reason that Oklahoma is the biggest home underdog they've been since 1998.
Wow.
That's the last time that Oklahoma was a touchdown or greater home underdog. And that, interestingly enough, was the year before Bob Stoops and Josh Heupel showed up there on campus to get this thing flipped and turned around for the Sooners.
ESPN's Dusty Dvoracek with us. You hear him with Danny Cannell as well every morning on Sirius XM College. Florida, Mississippi State is his game straight out of game day. He mentioned game day in Norman, straight out of game day. You'll see Dusty on that Florida, Mississippi State game, which has a ton of misery in it. Dusty's going to sort through the misery and find the happiness for you in that game. I do, Jackson Arnold, like we in the media, we have expectations. We talk about expectations. And then when players don't live up to expectations, we're like, they're having a bad year. Maybe Jackson Arnold isn't having a bad year, but the reason I had expectations for him, Dusty, is it appeared that they chose him over Dylan Gabriel. That's what set those expectations, and it's not been close. What has happened there?
So I think it's fair to have high expectations. Oklahoma had high expectations. I mean, he was the number one quarterback coming out, per my man Tom Luganville, who I know is a big participant in the show, friends of all of ours. I mean, he was the number one rated quarterback. So I think that, and yes, I don't know exactly how the conversations went down, but I think it's fair to say they looked at the quarterback room, and I think they recognized if we bring Dylan back, it's going to stunt the growth, and who knows what Jackson decides to do. So it made the most sense to let Jackson have his time. And so I had high expectations for him. There's a variety of things. I'm not an excuse maker, but I am real, and I'll be honest with you. The offensive line and the wide receiver room has been decimated by injuries. Nobody wants to hear about that, but it's the truth. You're playing your four-string center right now, okay? Who's injured at the same time. You've lost a guard for the season already. Your right tackle has played a combined maybe half in 12 quarters, so maybe 2 quarters out of 12 so far. They've been shuffling guys left and right. They've had multiple freshmen have to step in and play that aren't ready to play. There's a good chance to get a couple of guys back this week, which they need against this Tennessee front. Going into the season, I thought wide receiver room was a strength. They had depth. You lost Jaden Gibson in fall camp for the season. You lost Jalil Farouk in the first quarter against Temple to a broken foot. And Nick Anderson, who had 10 touchdowns last year as a freshman, has yet to see the field. So Deion Burks is literally the only option that's out there that can really win and get open. Brennan Thompson's got some speed outside, but they've been devoid wide receivers. They've had mix and match, just a kind of revolving door along the offensive line, and Jackson Arnold hadn't played very well. They've not run the football effectively outside of some quarterback run that they finally got going last week. I think Jackson, for whatever reason, he's been hesitant, and he has not just kind of let it loose and let it rip. The kid's got a big-time arm. He's got a high ceiling. He can make big-time throws, but aside from a few moments this season, we haven't seen that. And he's been reluctant, I think, to take many risks, to take chances. And, you saw him last week late in that Tulane game under some pressure make a really bad decision. So I know that the young man is capable of playing much better than he has. And I'm not here to make excuses for him, but the surrounding pieces around him have not been conducive to a young quarterback thrust into this spot and, really taking this position and running with it. You look at just Nico, and you look at the rushing attack they have with Dylan Sampson around him. His complement of wide receivers, he's got size, speed, some experience out there, especially with Brew McCoy and Squirrel. So I just think that not trying to compare the two. Nico has massively outplayed him, but Jackson has to play better. But what's been around Jackson, I'm hoping they find some health and a little bit more continuity to give him more confidence to go out there and for him to play at a higher level.
When we talk about this Tennessee offense, the conversation starts with Nico. You brought up Dylan Sampson, though, and he has had an incredible year, averaging right at 8 yards a carry, 9 touchdowns. If I was to tell you this Oklahoma defense that is yet to give up a touchdown on the ground holds Dylan Sampson to 70 yards and no touchdowns, does Oklahoma win the game?
They have a chance to win the game. Because to me, you guys are smart. See, everybody's focused on the wrong things in this game to me. And Nico's a factor, and the passing game's a factor. But the path to Oklahoma to win this game and to keep this game really competitive is exactly what you said. It's to be able to limit Dylan Sampson and Nico as a runner. Like, I think that's the other thing with Nico. Like, young man's got a great arm, but, man, he is explosive. Straight line runner. He has got speed, and he can take it 60 like that. So with this offense, I call it a pace and space offense, and Oklahoma's going to run a similar variation to it. But, really, when you break this offense down, they're going to make you show your hand to a certain degree. What are you going to do? We're going to spread you out thin, and we want to run the football. Are you going to commit to stopping this run and give us opportunities outside and some explosive plays with our wide receivers? Or are you going to try to take away the running game? And if Oklahoma can play a light box, not have to overcommit, and they can limit Dylan Sampson and keep Nico in check on the ground, I think it gives them a great chance. I think it puts them in third and predictable situations. It allows that crowd to come to life, and it allows Oklahoma to dial up some potential blitzes and confuse Nico in predictable passing situations. If Dylan Sampson has success and this Tennessee rushing attack goes for 180, 200 yards, it's going to be really difficult, I think, for Oklahoma to stay in this football game.
I'm sure Ballack already has it as a drop. My last appearance in August, you guys asked the last question, what team would surprise in the SEC, and I said Tennessee. So I played that as frequently as you guys want to. Please share with our audience the mindset of the Oklahoma fan base, because we'll use Alabama fans as an example. You know this. At times can be very unrealistic. If I asked this question to an Alabama fan, they would say 8-0, and they wouldn't even miss a beat. Next 8 games, Oklahoma plays 5 teams in the top 7 in the AP poll. What's a number that Oklahoma fans are still happy with loss-wise? If you have to endure losses, in those 8 games, 5-3. If you got out of that 5-3, are you okay? 6-2. Let us in on the Oklahoma fan mindset. Is there any realism there?
I think they're happy at 5-3. I think they're. I think 5-3. I think that's probably the number. You're not including Maine, I don't think, in that question.
If they're in the next 8 game, that's a given. Yeah, they're obviously not one I'm worried about.
I actually think 4-4, which is, I know that you guys are, oh my gosh, 4-4. But we have lowered the standard. I think going into the year, 8-4 was kind of that number. That if you got to 8-4, given what the schedule was, that's palatable. We can live with that. We can work with that. I think once you start to dip below that, people start to freak out. But I also think it's about, what does it look like?
Yeah.
Are you competitive in these games? Are you right there in these games with a chance to win them and something just doesn't go your way? Or are you is there a massive gap? Is there a big difference? And we're going to start to find out on Saturday night, because the gauntlet has been laid out and it's been set. And all these teams, I would say outside of Missouri, have lived up to the hype and some. I think that Tennessee is even better than I think even probably you thought, Jim.
Yes.
I think Texas is even better than most people had anticipated. Clearly, I don't know how you guys feel about Ole Miss. I know that they haven't played anybody, but boy, I think that team is got some bona fides. Watching that tape of Wake Forest and some of the block destruction I saw from those guys up front. It ain't just Jackson Dart in that offense. They will flat out get after you. So I think that, several of those teams that are still remaining going to be really, really good. LSU, obviously, point out the one that they did, remind you that they're pretty good. And I'll tell you what, South Carolina before the year,
Yes.
I think even after the opener in Old Dominion, you go, oh, we got that one. All of a sudden now it's like, especially offensive line where it's at, you look at those edges for the Gamecocks, that all of a sudden becomes a dicey proposition. So I think as you look at this SEC schedule, what would a Sooner fan, sign off on and say, I'm good with that? I think it's 4-4 at this point, which crazy to talk. Now, you ask me that question next year, I think it's a different answer. But year one in this league, given the way these teams have looked, I think that's probably the right number.
All right, Florida, Mississippi State, straight out of game days where you'll see Dusty's crew. You can follow him on Twitter at Dusty Dvoracek and see him every week on ESPN, hear him on Sirius XM every morning. Dusty, thank you so much for the time. Know you're slammed. We appreciate you making time for us.
Thanks, man.
Real quick, I want to know predictions. I mean, do you guys even – because most people I feel like are saying Oklahoma is going to lose by 3 touchdowns. Are you guys giving the Sooners any chance at all?
It was my upset. We do an upset alert every Tuesday. It was mine yesterday. I think Tennessee wins the game. I think the entire world is going to look at that 7.5 point line and be like, oh, that is easy money. How does that normally turn out? This guy has taught me that. I think Oklahoma keeps this tighter than everybody thinks. But Tennessee wins.
Yeah, I would lean that Oklahoma will keep this tighter than the 7.5.
Not me, man. Okay. I'm the layman, Dusty, and now you've talked. Now I'm known as the landmine on the show, so this is good for Oklahoma fans. I think Tennessee boat races them, man. It's going to be bad.
It's good for you guys.
Yeah. Brent Venables wants to hear this.
I am horrible at this, so that's good news for the Sooners. Get that wagon fired up.
I don't think we've seen – I think Tennessee's secondary has not been challenged yet. Whether or not that offensive line holds up for Oklahoma, we'll see.
Yep. All right, Dusty's out.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. That was it.
Well, we did say bye to him.
Yeah, we did. Dusty on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
I will tell you this, a couple great sponsors, and I got TV ratings. And again, hats off to the folks at ABC ESPN by choosing the right league to be associated with. More evidence of that in just a second. First, tell us about Odie's, and then Johnston RV Brownie.
Yeah, and I do want to hear what you guys believe the difference will be between the big noon over the last 2 weeks with Texas, Michigan, Alabama, Wisconsin, to Marshall, Ohio State. What kind of drop we will see. Yeah. Odie's Tavern Rockstar, it's Wednesday, that means?
That'd be trivia right there.
Wednesday, every single Wednesday, team trivia at the original location in Crestline. Me and Rocky, Will Haver will be out there. Come join us. Ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. And you learn little factoids all over the place. You can enjoy great food from Rodney Davis, award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches. Stop into one of those 2 locations, but the one we're at tonight, Crestline, Odie's team trivia, the other location in Edgewood. Great place to go for lunch or dinner. It's Odie's.
And don't forget, Johnston RV Center is helping you see America this fall with an RV from Johnston RV, and they've got great deals to make sure you can get out there and see it. I don't say this enough. They appreciate the United States military the way we do on this show. They love you, and just a small way of saying thank you is a great discount they give you there, but everybody's getting discounts. $145 a month, that's where travel trailers start. How about savings over $45,000 for fifth wheels? Lowest prices of the year. You can find them at I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Most watched game last week, Georgia and Kentucky, primetime ABC, 6.6 million. Second most watched game, Alabama, Wisconsin on Fox, big noon kickoff, just over 5 million. Third most watched game, very competitive on ABC, right out of game day, but on ABC, LSU and South Carolina. Fourth most watched game on ABC, Texas A&M and Florida. Fifth most watched game, Colorado and Colorado State. Oregon State was 6. Arizona, Kansas State 7. Notre Dame, Purdue way down there at 8. Memphis, SMU at 9. UTSA, Texas at 10. Those are your top 10 most watched. Now Ohio State was off. I think Michigan was off. So maybe not the best week to give a telltale sign of where the Big Ten is right now in football. And I know Wisconsin's there at the second slot, and that was big noon kickoff. But I think we all know that nationally Alabama draws the eyeballs, Wisconsin doesn't.
The top 4 ranked games, there are 8 teams playing, 7 of them are SEC teams.
That's right. And then the fifth one, Brownie, is not a Big Ten matchup. It's the Dion show in Colorado State.
There was just so much, it's Dion. There was a lot of smack talk. It was on CBS. I will say, I fear, Lance, like you look at this, you got a primetime game number 1, 2 11 o'clock games number 2. I Fox has forced ESPN to be better at 11 o'clock. That is a given, right?
That's
ESPN
right.
used to, they would put some iffy games at 11 o'clock, and Fox has forced them to start putting good games at 11 o'clock.
You know what helped them? And you'll remember this, that when ESPN had Big Ten rights, they would put a pretty sloppy, bad Big Ten game.
Oh,
out
you
of
get a
game
lot
day.
of Purdue Northwestern.
Yeah.
Go straight out of game day, you'd go to Beth Mowins.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, it helps. I mean, I know Florida Mississippi State doesn't look like a great game, but at least the stadium will be full. You know what I mean?
Oof.
The atmosphere
I guess
will be
it
good.
will. I
The
guess.
cowbells will be rung.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I mean, but they also like to do the pregame interview with those coaches. Jeff Lebby, people just don't really know Jeff Lebby yet.
Yeah.
Billy Napier, would he agree to the interview, you think?
Dead
would
man
he,
walking, right?
I mean, would ESPN want to do that interview? Like, all right, let's go on the field. Don't forget coming up after us, Florida, Mississippi State.
When we come back, let's talk a little bit about Billy Napier, but also some of the games that are on the road. We got our sneaky good games we're going to tell you about. Jace, our buddy, asked, is ABC also broadcasting game day now, or is it still just ESPN? I watch it on ESPN, so I don't know.
It's also on ESPNU, so I don't know that they also put it on ABC.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. All right, so here we are, top of the hour. I love our friends at mybookie.ag. That's the chat room over there. Promo code next round. Put those together, no space, next round. When you do that, you get a sign-on bonus there with our friends at MyBookie. And, of course, the wonderful folks at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We're back in a moment right here on the next round.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at ryanbrownlive.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters. It is the will to prepare to win." Hi, I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryant Bank, and I can tell you that our Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that is right for you. At Bryant Bank, we specialize in community banking and offer personal and business loans, checking and savings account, mobile banking, and treasury management services. Stop by one of our 18 offices across the state of Alabama to find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
From the creators of The Next Round comes two new sites, CoverCrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com. Two team sites with the same excitement and information-driven content that you get every day on The Next Round. Live daily shows, recorded shows, free of charge, plus premium content with insider information starting at just $1. And it's the perfect gift for the Alabama or Auburn fan in your family. CoverCrimson.com or thebarnauburn.com. Sign up today. The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Raid, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Hey, this is Matt Roth, the franchisee of Walk On Sports Bistro in Birmingham. With the kickoff of football season, come visit us at one of our 3 locations, Stadium Trace, Greystone, or Trussville. Come enjoy our scratch kitchen menu while watching one of our 80 TVs. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game celebration, game day, or date night, we've got you covered. It's all about the win at Walk On Sports Bistro. Walk On, where everybody needs a little playing time.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Royal Payne in the chat room. We've got to get to where TV revenue is used for the players. I think that's next year. By the time we kick off football in 2025, I think that'll be a rule to where they'll be able to pay out of the coffers of TV money. That's where we're headed, Royal Payne. You're exactly right. All of you guys are talking about an ESPN personality that Brownie made his announcement a little bit later on, and with a little twist at the end.
So they call it the Woj bomb when Adrian Wojnarowski drops a piece of breaking news in the NBA, and he broke his own news today that he's retiring from ESPN.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Came out of nowhere, apparently, and there's a bit of a cryptic line at the bottom right there where basically he says he's going to do his own thing. Like, I appreciate everybody at ESPN. I'm retiring. I'm walking away.
Yep. Podcast coming.
I'm going to do my own thing. That's what I would have thought. I would have thought he stays in the media world. Nope. Because right after he announced it, his alma mater, St. Bonaventure, announces that Adrian Wojnarowski is their new basically director of basketball ops guy, their general manager.
Yep. He's going to be evaluating talent, helping recruiting. And
at St. Bonnie's, by the way.
Yeah.
So not at Kentucky.
Is he taking a 100% pay cut?
Probably, yeah.
No. If you go back to the announcement.
There's no telling why he got paid at ESPN.
You don't think St. Bonnie can pay him $500,000?
No. They don't pay their head coach $500,000.
Amazing. The first paragraph's great, though. I grew up the son of a factory worker 2 miles from ESPN's campus and only ever dreamed of making a living as a sports writer. 37 years ago, the Hartford Courant gave me my first byline, and I never stopped chasing the thrill of it all. So 2 miles from ESPN's campus to a factory worker is how he grew up.
I would think easy work for him. He could do a weekly podcast and make a couple $100,000 just based on his connections and insight.
It probably will at some point. I mean, he could do that and also be the St. Bonnie's guy.
That's probably what he's going to do.
Yeah. Good news for Sham Charania of, is he Yahoo now?
I don't know.
He's bounced around a lot. But he's the other big breaking news guy. Now he's got the whole game to himself. Like, he could probably take a vacation.
Yeah. It's a Sham Fest. What does he do? Woj bomb, I liked.
Woj bomb. I can't remember what they say about Sham.
It's a sham session?
Sham session? I don't know. But he's got the whole game to himself. This would be like, I don't know who the other insiders are. The guy we had on, Jordan Schultz, is a good NFL insider. He and Adam Schefter go back and forth with a lot of breaking news. If one of them retired, the other would be like, I got the whole thing now.
I mean, when Mort, kind of retired and then obviously passed away, Schefter was kind of the only go-to when it came to NFL on ESPN.
As far as ESPN goes. And he's kind of – Jay Glazer used to do a lot of it. I don't see as much from Glazer anymore.
Glazer still does I still see a little bit of the pregame on Fox, so he still comes on and,
Very tight with the players. Patrick goes, you can call it a ShamWow.
The ShamWow.
Walker goes, a shabam.
Shabam.
Oh, we got another shabam to tell you about now. Well, goodbye you, Woj.
Yeah.
Go be happy, man.
Ian Rappaport. I forgot our old friend Ian Rappaport, NFL Network. He does some too.
Our show being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Laser Vision LT.
Yeah, 205-969-8100. Make the phone call that I made more than 2 decades ago. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. I now have 2015 vision, better than 2020. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Ask about pre-inflation pricing. For more information, MichelsenLaserVision.com.
So, Lance, you asked going to break, what will the drop-off be? Let me give you the Fox Big Noon Kick numbers this year so far.
I would think that the second week would be the biggest.
The second week is definitely the biggest. Their first week didn't do that great. Now, keep in mind, to be fair, they had the rain delay, so they only got to show a half in the normal window, right?
Right.
But it got 3 million viewers, 2.99 for Penn State, West Virginia. I'd kind of throw that one out. There was a rain delay. You can't really go on that. Week 2, 9.19 million for Texas, Michigan. Was the most viewed game in week number 2. Second most viewed game, as Jim said a moment ago, 5 million for Alabama, Wisconsin. What do you think
2.9.
2.9 million just because it's noon on Fox?
People want to see Ohio State and Jeremiah Smith.
It's not exactly a great window. You've got Florida, Mississippi State, which I think you got to have a little sadistic side to you to enjoy that one. There's a lot of misery in that game.
NC State Clemson has some interest if NC State's getting a little bit healthier.
It's in Death Valley.
Yeah,
Kansas,
you got a freshman quarterback, too.
Yeah. Kansas, West Virginia, that is 2 disappointing teams so far. They're both 1 and 2. Houston, Cincinnati, Charlotte, Indiana. I mean, there's
not anymore. Yeah.
By the way, the 11 o'clock, Dunaway, you hate it when I do this.
Yeah.
11 o'clock window is a bad window this week.
James Madison, North Carolina, not as good as it once could be.
Yeah.
Rice and Army, you got to support the military.
Yes.
But no, it's
finest storyline.
Nothing supports the military like me watching them play Rice.
No. I mean, it's the biggest game in that window probably is Clemson and seeing if they're fixed against NC State.
Yeah. Not a great window, 11 o'clock window. Go watch it. Again, I always say this.
Hey, this will give you an opportunity to watch Indiana, Big Ten Network.
Yeah, you're big on Indiana.
I would even take a flyer on Indiana right now if I could get the right number to make the college football playoff. And I'm not saying they're that good.
Holy crap.
No, I'm just saying their schedule.
Oh, there's no telling what kind of number you could get on them making the playoffs.
I don't know. Based on schedule, man, I think they're probably like 70-1, maybe.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it at mybookie.ag.
Well, how about this? According to ESPN right now, they did their playoff predictor, and there are 24 teams involved. And there are 6 teams behind. Indiana's got the
I gotta pull this schedule up.
18th shortest odds, according to ESPN, to make the college football playoff.
I
right
got
now.
Dunaway.
In front of Clemson, Memphis, Oklahoma State, UNLV, Utah, and Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I got to pull this schedule up. Lance he's talked all week
it's over here. Yep.
about Indiana.
Now watch them lose to Charlotte this week.
Oh, that's the coach that wears cut off, sleeveless T-shirts. I mean,
Charlotte, but then you got Maryland. Maryland's a legitimate threat to them. Northwestern is it's an away game, so that's scary. Then you got Nebraska.
It's like
Nebraska
40 people in that
Nebraska
stadium.
will beat them, so you can stop the discussion there.
Oh,
then there's
you're that
Washington.
sure.
Then there's Michigan State. Michigan will beat them.
Oh, I would not say that.
Yeah. Ohio State will beat them.
That will happen.
Yeah, Ohio State will beat them.
So 3 or 4 losses still to come.
Dude,
for Indiana.
you've watched Michigan. You can't say they will win that game in Bloomington.
2.5 on losses. I'll take the over. You'll take the under? I'll give you 2 losses here on out.
You just said 3 or 4.
I know. That's over 2.5.
Well, between 3 and 4 is 3.5.
Yeah, but I think they will have 3 losses, maybe 4. You think they'll have 1 loss, maybe 2, so 2.5.
I will take I'll take win total over 9.5 right
From
now.
this point on,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Which doesn't really matter because they haven't lost a game.
But they're
so,
unbeaten, right?
Yeah.
So 9.5 is 2 losses, right?
Yep.
So if it's 2.5 losses, that's where we are.
Forrester, what did you say about Purdue last week?
That's an official state bet, by the way.
That's official statement. Yeah.
He said Purdue would beat Notre Dame.
No. What did you say after you saw Purdue and Notre Dame?
That you should have watched Purdue first?
Yeah, that I won't do that again with a team that I have
How many
never
times
seen.
you watched Indiana?
None. 0.
You're betting on brand. You're betting on brand right there.
No, I just
you are.
I'm just betting on is how the state bet started. The original state bet, I still believe, was Notre Dame and the Chicago Cubs. That I forget which side I was even on, but it seemed like someone like Lance was really over the top about something with Notre Dame, and he said something, and I said, "Oh, Notre Dame will win a national championship before the Cubs win a World Series." Maybe that was it. Well, I was on one side of those, but that's how the stake bet started, an over-the-top guarantee, and I was like, I'm going to go the opposite of this, and I lost it. I've lost 1,000 of them, but that's how it all started.
How bad do you think Tennessee is going to beat Oklahoma?
I think, the chat room just educated me on Oklahoma a little bit. They tell me 7 or 8 guys are coming back. They're getting all their starters back. Some of them haven't really had a chance to play a lot of time yet this year. And it was Brandon, actually. I wrote it down. Brandon, great contributor in the mybookie.ag chat room. And Brandon, who I keep up with this. Some of you, I don't put as much stock into your information. Some of you, I move it to the top of my list. And Brandon is a green with a bullet. He gives me good information.
All right. I got you.
And Brandon says 7 guys back in the starting lineup for Oklahoma off of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, my motorboating.
We're under. Okay, we've
now it's coming back to
right.
an interesting game.
All right.
Now it's falling back to about 7.5 where you guys are.
All right.
So Brandon has swayed me over in the chat room. That's the mybookie.ag chat room. Tell us more about MyBookie, Brown.
Well, I was going to point out, if you like Tennessee by 3 touchdowns at MyBookie, you can actually play that. Tennessee by 21 or more plus 330. So there's your money, Jimmy D. If you had stayed on the motorboat, you backed off of it a little bit. Now you play all those games. Play all those games at mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on to mybookie.ag. You're going to make an initial deposit. They are going to double that. They're going to match that deposit. So you double your initial money. You can play with that money right away at mybookie.ag. Win once with it. It is yours and yours forever. All the games this weekend. I mentioned earlier, Auburn's still a 3-point favorite. They'll have up Alabama, Georgia next week, of course. We'll see where that starts. mybookie.ag, code next round. mybookie.ag, code next round.
Hey, and if you're building out that man cave right now, you need that extra piece of furniture, whether it's that Lazy Boy Flex Steel recliner, you want the sectional down there where you can host a bunch of people. Our friends at Lanya's Furniture, they believe in getting more style for less. They've got a great inventory. They've got incredible pricing. Lanya's offers great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, entertainment, and a slew of mattresses. Lanya's can also help with your home design and decorating. Stop in, see Reggie, John, the fine folks there. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. They've got incredible savings store-wide right now from Birmingham. Very simple. Take exit 280 off of I-65, the Hallmark Farms exit. Go south on U.S. Highway 31 for 1.3 miles. Lanyas will be right there on your right. For more information, 205-647-4311. Again, tell the fine folks at Lanyas the next round sent you.
All right. Don't forget covercrimson.com, covercrimson.com, and thebarnauburn.com. Go check out those sites. Arkansas at Auburn. Big interest on thebarnauburn.com. You can go check out all the conversation going on in the forum there. But a lot of great content, some behind a premium wall, but a lot of great shows over there for you, absolutely free. The conversation has been all about Hank Brown. I got a question for you guys, not Hank Brown related, about Auburn in just a second. But for Hank Brown, he says this is nothing new to him this week. He had been preparing as a starter all along.
No, I think, from the first week I've tried to prepare like I was a starter. Now that I am, I'm going to continue to prepare, obviously, in that way. I think there's a level of intensity that rises just within the team, I think, now that it's SEC play. But, my challenge for the team is that we approach every week as the most important game. And so that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Before we react to that, and not a lot to react to there, but can you just pop that up again, Forrester? You're a former TV guy. Forrester, can I get Forrester's mic here? Is that WAKA Channel 8 microphone, is that picking up audio, or is that there just to be in the damn shot? I mean, that's like a mile and a half away from his mouth. There's no way that's picking up the audio.
It's got some distance to it, yeah. It's not ideal.
Are they CBS 8 by chance? I can't tell.
I mean, the perception.
That's a big cube.
That is a big cube, yes.
It is, and I don't have a problem with the size of the cube, but shouldn't it be, actually, if we're using that, should it not be closer?
Yeah. Should it on the same table as Hank?
That is the worst microphone placement I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
There's no way you're picking up audio there.
Some poor intern helping him out.
Forrester, you agree with me, right?
Yeah, but there's no mistaking whose mic that is.
That's right.
Yeah.
Was Channel 8 there today? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They were there.
You know what Jim Dunaway would have done back in his Channel 13 days? He'd have done this. Pop me up. How you going?
You'd have knocked it off the
How'd
table.
you never get your ass whipped?
I mean, it's amazing.
I guess you
isn't
were
it?
in media, though, so that explains a lot.
Had big camera guys with me. Daryl went about 6'6", 290.
He was in media. The other guys were too lazy to whip him.
Big Daryl Woods. Nobody was going to mess with me. Daryl had my back. Here's Hank now talking about correcting mistakes from the first start. There's some Auburn fans who didn't see any mistakes, but there were a few. Here's Hank.
And one thing my QB coach, Coach Austin, always says is you never want to make the same mistake twice. And so, being the quarterback and playing in that game and being able to watch that film, obviously helps me learn from what I did wrong in the last game and be able to improve it, this week in practice, and then, allow that not to happen in the game. There were a few things that, I need to improve on. I think one is just my awareness of the play clock. I was talking to Coach Freeze about that, and just there's obviously a lot of things going through my head during the game, but just being able to, exit out all the distractions and being able to focus on, obviously what matters.
Now, Mike with the War Report, friend of Taylor and mine. We see him at Auburn events all the time. He did the clock. He says Hank Brown had an average time to throw of 2.0 seconds in the game against New Mexico. Didn't hold the ball a lot. Quick decision, quick release is why he seems to be the most
So
attractive.
he had, or his release was 2 seconds?
He had 2 seconds to throw.
He had 2 seconds to throw. Hank
On
Brown
average.
had an average time to throw, is
Yeah.
the way he phrased it, of 2.0.
And I'm sorry to ask you this because he probably hasn't said this to you. Did he tell you what it was against New Mexico or against Cal for Peyton Thorne?
He did not. No.
Would you guess less than 2 on average?
I would say about 2's quick.
1,001, 1,002.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not a lot of time to
Man,
read.
2.5 seconds is about what you need. So I don't know if that was more of we're complimenting Hank because he's getting the ball out quicker, or that's the only time he was allowed.
Well, I mean, that is if it's 2 seconds from snap to release, I mean, you're getting close to 2 a level at that point.
Yeah. Well, I think all the Tom Brady graphics that I remember during his years in Tampa, and Tom was known to be quick release of the ball.
Yeah.
Got quicker and quicker the older he got.
That's right. I remember that graphic, and that's the one I'm remembering right now, and I think it got down to like 2.4 seconds.
So if he only had 2 seconds to throw against New Mexico, that is alarming. And that's the thing about Hank Brown, Lance, is while now he's got some film that Ken Austin can say, don't do this, don't do that. Arkansas also has game film.
Bingo.
And can say, okay, here's how we can make this kid uncomfortable. Now we've got some film on him that is not Lipscomb High School in Nashville. We've got film on him from an actual college game. And now, so that's the game now, right, for him. That's the cat and mouse game. How does he improve while defenses are getting tougher that he's facing? Arkansas, Oklahoma, Georgia. And he's putting more and more on film so defensive coordinators can find out his mistakes and his weaknesses.
Yeah.
And that's the game for him now.
That is the game. So here's the question I wanted to ask. Is quarterback what you're concerned most about with this Auburn team in this game? Is quarterback what you're most concerned about in this game?
No.
I am more concerned about the defense after watching, the first couple of halves with Mendoza, what he did, and then what the Dampierre kid did last week with New Mexico.
That's
like
neat.
If Taylor Green is on, Bobby Petrino will dissect this defense. He really will if Taylor Green is on. Now, Taylor Green wasn't on last week. He really struggled throwing the football against UAB, and if you're an Auburn fan, you hope you get that same Taylor Green because there's really not much you can do about Taylor Green's legs. Play breaks down, guy is gone.
But Taylor was really good in the Oklahoma State game.
Oh, yeah.
They almost won that game, put 31 on the board. That's my concern too, Brown. I'm more concerned about the defense than the offense.
I do think Bobby Petrino will give Taylor a lot of easy throws to start out the game, try to get him in rhythm, and then let his athleticism take over. I don't know. It's a very difficult game to handicap. I lean Auburn at home. I don't feel great about it, though.
I just watched Cal do almost anything they wanted to in the first half.
20 of
Auburn.
22.
Yeah, but Auburn could not get them off the field. And then I watched New Mexico do the same thing. Now, I will say, for whatever reason, in the second half, the defense has played better for Auburn against both Cal and New Mexico. Offense in the second half was non-existent against Cal, and offense obviously was really good when the defense started playing better and they started running the ball against New Mexico. Has there been an explanation? I've just missed this, and that's on me. doing a poor job myself. Why they had to go Holden Geriner for the Hail Mary at the end of the half?
I would imagine.
Are they concerned about his arm strength?
I would. There's two ways of thinking here, because if you'll remember, it was Joe Milton that came in against Alabama in 2022 right before the half.
That's right.
To do a Hail Mary, and wasn't the starting quarterback Hooker.
Now, he had a better arm than Hooker. Milton could throw it a mile.
That's right. Some people, have almost a specialist now. They throws the ball further in that situation. It was a longer throw, so Geriner may have had a better ability to do that. You have a young kid who doesn't look like he kills it in the weight room. I don't know if obviously he's better in the weight room than I am, but I don't know if Hank Brown from that distance could comfortably get it to the end zone.
Riley in the mybookie.ag chat room says Holden throws a higher and further ball, is what Hugh Freeze said.
That's right. So that's like Joe Milton, it's almost a specialty position now, and some people don't like for their starting quarterbacks in that situation. It's almost like putting off the green, Brown. You don't want to change your routine. You don't want to strain a certain muscle, a ligament. Sometimes putting off the green, it changes your putting stroke on the surface when you get back up there.
So I thought, as I was watching it live, is it possible that maybe Hank Brown's a backup? Maybe he hasn't even run it in practice. Like, this is how often do you rep the Hail Mary in practice, right?
I can imagine you can only throw so many of those.
Yeah, so I thought, well, maybe Holden Geriner has run it more in practice. Then I saw Holden Geriner run it out of bounds on a Hail Mary, and I was like, I don't know if Holden's ever run a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think
he'll never get another chance. I'll tell you that.
Have you ever seen a quarterback run out of bounds on a Hail Mary?
No.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, in the Kansas State game, though, it was.
Did he do it? I didn't see that.
It wasn't a Hail Mary, but it was right before the half. And they were driving, and they were in field goal range, and they gave him
that was weird. Yeah,
and they gave him that one more play, and he scrambled around. It was 9 seconds, and he scrambled around, and then it's out of time, and he ran it out of bounds.
Full 9 seconds, which was crazy.
Your brain just
and you know what, that would have been. That's one of those plays. If Kansas State ends up losing that game by a possession, everybody, that would have been like one of the massive talking points coming out of the weekend,
because they had worked it down perfectly to get in field goal range. And then I always get nervous when it's 9 seconds. I'm always like, oh, let's just take the three, man. Just take the three.
I like taking one shot, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
Do you?
I'm more Nick Saban. You're more Kalen DeBoer.
Did you see the end of Baltimore and Las Vegas Sunday?
I did not.
Did you? Were you watching? So they line up for the Hail Mary. And, of course, everybody backs off. And Lamar just pulls it down and runs. And he runs like 40 yards before anybody's close to him. And I really thought he gave it up too quick.
Great for stats.
Thought he gave it up too quick, too.
But so the play was not even a Hail Mary. It was Lamar run it, get as far as you can go and start pitching it.
Pitch.
And it's amazing to me. Like, I know they have to, I guess, run this some in practice. Anytime you see that play, how quickly you get a forward pass. I mean, it's almost like by the second pitch, somebody's already thrown it forward, and the play's it's over anyway.
You guys correct me if I'm wrong. It seemed like in the past we had at least 1, 2, or 3 of these lateral things that would work during the season. They don't work anymore.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, nobody's ever run it better than Miami did.
Yeah, against
the Patriots. Yeah, I mean, that's about as clean as you can run one right there.
It's the scariest play in gambling, though, because you're always, if you've got it,
scoop and score.
If you got it in the house, the old scoop and score.
That's always
I've gotten it both ways. I've won on those. I've lost on them, but boy, it is frustrating.
Jeff says Hank got a stronger arm than 12 does. So that's Jeff's opinion. Welcome back, Jeff. I'm glad to have you back in the chat room over there. Some people were missing you. MyBookie.ag chat room, MyBookie.ag chat room. And the show being brought to you today by our friends at Hydra Live. They'll be up on the show Friday, getting us ready for another big weekend. When we come back in our next segment, we will do sneaky good games of the week. So looking forward to sneaky good games in the next segment. 4 downs still to come, but Hydra Live always there for you.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. And now our friends at Hydra Live, they have worked in weight loss therapy. Hydra Live Therapy now offering the weight loss therapy. They've got memberships available right now. Hydra Live combines hydration therapy with targeted weight loss treatments. They provide a comprehensive approach to weight management. If you're tired of feeling stuck in your weight loss goals, discover a personalized approach that works with Hydra Live Therapy's weight loss therapy. Again, very important when you get into one of the 2 Birmingham locations, at the Tuscaloosa location, mention the next round, 20% off all of the incredible services. They're open daily 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Ask about memberships. You can basically recoup that membership fee energy in just one visit. For more information, hydrolivetherapy.com.
Bobby said it was absolutely amazing to see the first guy Lamar pitched to launch a forward pass.
I mean, it's almost instant. And then the play keeps going. They don't blow it dead, but you see the flag come out, so you know everything that happens from here forward, unless it's a scoop and score, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And like they'll pitch it around 70 times, and it's like this play does not count unless it's a scoop and score.
Go ahead and lay down. Save your ligaments on the knee. Go ahead and lay down. There's no better way to say you sleep during film session in the back of the room than throwing a forward pass at 40 yards down from the line of scrimmage.
Exactly.
Do you even watch football? Our friends at the Pan Store, if you watch football, will make you look better on game day. They're your game day headquarters. In Birmingham at several locations, in Huntsville, in Leeds, the original Pan Store there. They got them on campus too. Tuscaloosa and Auburn. Get that game day headquarter gear from name brands like Cutter and Buck, Antigua, Gentile, Horn and Legend, for all the polos, the hats, and the quarter zips. And listen, no matter where you're watching us, you can get it. You get that great gear right there at thepanstore.com, thepanstore.com. And Emily Grace and Taylor going by there, I didn't know. Every time I'd gone to Pan Store, I'd always focus on the team gear. I didn't know all the great other clothing they have at the Pan Store. Panstore.com, panstore.com, free alteration, free gift wrapping. Go to the Pan Store now.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at jimdunaway.
Hey, you. Feel that? That's fall in the air. And New Balance Birmingham got your fresh fall pair. To kick it during game time and sport from the sideline. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280 right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Rave, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Rockstar, we're going to get to our spotlight right here to start this segment. It's brought to you by the great folks at McCurry Car and Truck Rental. Brownie, you tell us about McCurry, and then Rockstar hit the big button.
I will indeed, Jimmy D. When it comes time to rent that car, you know it has been a headache of late. Not at McCurry. They are the local rental company you can depend on. All kinds of vehicles to choose from, trucks, SUVs, passenger vans in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest, and opening soon are right there in Tuscaloosa and Skyline Boulevard. They're there now. Reserve your rental today, 256-559-1003. That's 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com.
The College Football Spotlight.
This weekend's sneaky good game.
Thank you to McCurry for hopping on that beautiful college football spotlight. I like the moving lights up there. Is that caused by the wind of the spinning football, Forrester? Or is that just like a spotlight, like it's during a timeout and we're in the stands?
I don't know, Jim. I hadn't really put that much thought into it.
That's the first thing I thought about. I love our graphics, though. I love the graphics department. It just seems like the lights are moving a lot. Like,
They are.
They are moving. That is, in fact, the case.
Is it a windy?
A little bit more than ours in studio.
Yeah, that's what concerned me. Is it a windy night game? Yeah, should we be concerned, or is that just like we're coming back and they're playing Dixieland Delight against the wall and the lights are moving? You guys asked for it. No show notes, and this is what I turned into.
I like it. I'm good, man.
Yeah, like sneaky good games. Are they easier to do sneaky good games on bad weekends like last weekend and this weekend, or is it harder to do sneaky good games?
I mean, to me, a sneaky good game ends up coming down to a final possession, a game nobody's really paying attention to, right? So I think it's just kind of, I don't know, luck of the draw.
A sneaky good game, Brownie, what do you have?
I have got a little big, I guess this counts a Big 12. We've seen some Big 12 games where new Big 12 teams are playing former Big 12 teams, and they don't count in the standings because they were previously scheduled.
Your Arizona game last week was a Big 12 matchup that didn't count in the standings.
And there was another one a couple of weeks ago that I didn't even know it until the game kicked off and the announcer said it. I was like, oh, this is not even a Big 12 game I'm watching. It is bizarre to see that, but that's what's going to happen when you have all these new teams and new conferences. I think this one counts in the standings. Arizona State fearing the fork on the road. Guns up, Texas Tech. These are two teams that have scored some points. Arizona State's averaging 36.5 points per game. They are 3-0. Texas Tech, 44.7 points per game, including having to score 52 just to beat Abilene Christian in week 1.
Yeah, I watched Texas Tech 2 weeks ago against Washington State. I didn't think they looked good at all.
That's their only loss. They're 2-1.
Completely destroyed North Texas last week. A little surprising that Texas Tech, I thought this game would be around a pick, that Texas Tech is actually favored in this game.
That's right there in Lubbock, 2:30 FS1. If you want to watch it in the 2:30 window, that's my sneaky good game, Fear the Fork, and Guns Up.
Sneaky good game, LT.
I'm going to go Big 12 as well. 7 o'clock, and they continue to get the eyeballs, and that is Colorado. But DeQuan Finn is a guy, I don't know how much Baylor paid him to leave Toledo, leave the MAC, and come into the Big 12. He hasn't been really good, though. He's completing less than 54% of his passes, touchdowns 3-2 to picks. But this is an opportunity for him to actually put up some numbers against his Colorado defense. I think this thing will go down to the wire. Not going to be surprised at all if Baylor on the road knocks off Colorado.
Ooh.
We pause. We'll save it for after the spotlight. Rockstar will need cut 7 coming out of this.
Okay, Coach Prime?
Yeah, Coach Prime yesterday Starting to burn hot in Boulder. This is going to be a sneaky good game, and I'm going to tell you, the visitors, I think, could win this football game and make it a little tougher. And what was high expectations for Virginia Tech. Rutgers at Virginia Tech, 2:30 on the ACC network. So a lot of fun in this contest. And as you get the Big Ten traveling into ACC country, Rutgers, pretty good-looking football team so far, LT. What do you see in this game, Rutgers and Virginia Tech?
Well, I think the pressure is definitely on Virginia Tech. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Rutgers goes in and wins this game. You know, a lot of people believe Greg Schiano in year 2 back in Piscataway was going to be much better. It could kind of be one of these teams that kind of upsets the apple cart when it comes to maybe knocking off a team or two throughout the season they shouldn't. I think we're getting more and more teams in the Big Ten. I mentioned Indiana, but Rutgers is one of those sneaky good teams. I kind of lean Rutgers is going to win this game. I agree with you. I think it's going to be a really good game. I think there is more pressure, though, on Virginia Tech.
Isn't it weird, though? And maybe it's just what I grew up with, but even though Indiana and Rutgers may be getting better, them not being name brand and getting better still makes it not as interesting of a TV product. But like, I think I would rather watch Florida and Mississippi State than I would some of those games that end up on FS1 that are probably better teams.
I don't know how much better, like talent-wise. I just think they're well coached.
Who, Rutgers?
Greg Schiano knows how to coach.
Yeah.
You might not like that style, but Rutgers fits him. What Cignetti is doing early on, and still a lot of games to go in the tough part of the schedule coming up, or the tougher part of the schedule, but he just seems like he knows what he's doing. And these guys, they don't miss a lot of assignments. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They're just well coached. But I agree with you. I mean, there is something more about the Florida-Mississippi State brand than you get with Rutgers and Virginia Tech.
Do you think we would get a cease and desist if we came up with just a red T-shirt with a white word coach and then a cigarette below it?
Coach Sig?
And we just start trying to sell that to Indiana?
I don't think even think that would sell until they get to a postseason, win a game or two.
Yeah. We can market it in Bloomington.
Yeah, not here, just all.
Yeah, we try to market it in Bloomington and sell Coach Sig
T-shirts.
T-shirts.
Good-looking T-shirt.
I do like that.
McCurry Car and Van Rental bringing you that spotlight today.
McCurryRental.com. That's the place you need to start. Great locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest, Skyline Boulevard, in Tuscaloosa. McCurryRentals.com.
Hey, can you give me the animated open again for the spotlight?
The moving lights
with McCurry. Well, people then are starting to focus in on a wobbly spiral. Some people were taking shots at certain quarterbacks who don't have their job anymore.
Quarterback play is iffy at times.
But I'm telling you, it's such a windy night. Look at it blowing the lights. Your spiral's not going to be tight in that situation.
Right. I mean, wind blows it sometimes.
Yeah, I love that. It's a good-looking graphic. Yeah. All right, Deion Sanders. In just a second. NASCAR coming back to Talladega. Unbelievable racing. Is it the world's fastest speedway, Brian?
I've heard that.
It is.
I've been on it.
Is it 2.66 miles?
It is. High banking, too. I climb those banks.
33-degree bankings at each end of the track. Unbelievable. To try over there for the great racing. You get it coming up October 4th through the 6th. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com for tickets. 877-GO-TO-DEGA. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Rodeo, Jake Owens. Rodeo on Friday, Jake Owens on Saturday, the big race on Sunday. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com for tickets. All right.
Is that Randy Owens' kid, by the way?
Is it? I don't.
No, but
is it? No. I don't think so. I'm gonna go.
I mean, one of those dudes from Alabama had to have a kid that sings.
Yeah,
they had to, right?
Yeah. I'm so not confident. I'm only going to put it at 90%. I'm going to give you a whole 10% that it could be.
No, it is not.
I do not think so.
It is not. He's got a twin brother. Winter Haven, Florida, they were born in, not Fort Payne, Alabama.
I'm just saying, like, how many dudes were in Alabama? 4? 4 or 5?
Yeah.
But I mean, they played for 50 years. I mean, one of their kids have got to be in music.
I think it was 3. I really think it was 3.
It was not 3.
I think it was 3. I think it was Randy Owens,
Teddy Gentry.
Teddy Gentry, Jeff Gentry, and then the drummer. There was 4.
No, Jeff Cook.
Yeah.
Randy Owen,
there was
Teddy
4.
Gentry, and the drummer whose name escapes my mind.
Who never fit in because he wasn't from Fort Payne, Alabama.
Yeah, and I think he fit right out at some point, and they just went with an obscure drummer. But I cannot remember his name.
You're right.
What was that drummer's name?
Mark
Herndon.
Yep.
Mark Herndon, yeah.
It was
also
4.
pitched for the Tigers, didn't he?
Well, I promise you, anytime I hear Fort Payne, Alabama. What pops to your mind?
The band Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, I've got two fraternity brothers from Fort Payne, but the band Alabama June Jam.
It's just that song, Christmas in Dixie.
And from Fort Payne, Alabama.
Yeah. Still amazing we had a dry county in the 2000s in this state. Do we still have a dry county?
I don't know about Clay County. You know, my wife has family down there, and I walked in a convenience store in Clay County one time, and I was like, something's missing in here. And then I noticed, it's alcohol. There was no beer.
Okay, let us know,
so
chat
Clay
room.
County was dry at one point. I don't know if it still is.
Let us know, chat room, if anybody lives or is near a dry county still in the state of Alabama. Deion Sanders, or not dry, he's running hot right now. As Baylor comes to town, Deion hoodie up, sunglasses on, hats cocked, ready to go. Talks about the media, jealousy, and how now they attack college football players.
When I say I genuinely love these kids, I genuinely really do. It's not about what they can do for me on the football field. It's about what I can help them with in life. They're football players. Some of these guys are definitely going pro. I want to equip them with the weapons to win life because, football has changed. The landscape has changed in football. Once upon a time, you guys never attacked college players. Now they're making more money than y'all. And some of y'all are envious and jealous about that. So you're on the attack. It was hands off for college player because he's an amateur. Remember that, guys? Now it's hands on. Go at them any kind of way you want. They're making more money than me, and I'm mad about it. I'm upset about it. And when you attack them, these guys are sensitive. They've never been attacked. Most of them are out of high school or 2 years or 3 years in college, but they're still sensitive to slander. They hadn't gone through what I've been going through with y'all for years. They haven't done that. So it is what it is. I know you're going to do your job and what you must do, but your job does not say attack. Like, if they didn't play well, leave it at that. But the personal stuff, leave it to be personal. Because if we start flipping the script on y'all, you wouldn't like it. I could easy. Thank you, Lord, for stopping me there. Whoo, that was almost a good one. That would have went viral.
Boy, he is wearing me out.
Yeah.
I used to really like Deion. Here's the thing. These kids are getting paid now. I understood there used to be a fine line where a lot of whoever does what we do didn't want to criticize players. But now that we're doing upcharges or surcharges and tickets.
Talent fees.
Now that the universities are able to pay, you talked about television contracts. This money is going to go to a lot of the players. We can criticize them. They're employees.
We used to, honest to goodness, parents would tell their kids that we don't boo college kids. These are amateurs.
I was booing the coaches.
Yeah, and that was a discussion. I mean, I remember Herb Winches back early in the radio days. I forget which coach was being. I think it was during the Bill Curry years, and booing. The booing of play was happening at either Legion Field or a Bryant-Denny game. It was a big talking point on AM 690 that day. Yeah, I can't believe Alabama fans were booing the players, and I wasn't booing the players. I was booing the coaches.
Well, there shouldn't be personal attacks. I don't know what Coach Prime's even talking about there. I mean, there may or may not have been. I don't follow the day-to-day reporting on Colorado football. There shouldn't be personal attacks. Shouldn't make it personal, but criticizing a quarterback's performance is not a personal attack. Now, saying, he's fat and ugly, that's a personal attack.
Was Deion not the ultimate critical guy when he took the job and he was like, some guys are Louis, some guys aren't?
Yeah.
Your ass ain't good enough to be on our shitty team, so we're getting rid of you. I mean, he basically publicly criticized 90% of his roster that he walked into.
100%. Absolutely. You're right about that.
If
you call, I'm bringing Louis with me, and some of you aren't going to be part of that, that's telling me I'm not Louis.
And by the way, you can criticize us. Nobody really cares. We're not interesting enough.
Yeah, I mean, we get criticized all the time. MyBookie.ag chat room kills
And what
us
did
every
he
day.
stop himself from saying that was going to go viral?
Well, he was about to say, I could say a lot of things about some of y'all, and maybe he was going to say, like for you, Jenny, you're cheating on your husband. I mean, I don't know what he's going to say, but
or you, Dave, you called me the other day. I asked for money.
Yeah, he thought it was going to be a good one, and he thanked the Lord for stopping him. So I don't know what he was about to say.
Thank you, Lord.
I would say this. I don't know if y'all have heard, Ryan Williams is still 17, and there has not been anything to criticize Ryan Williams about. In fact, there's only been praise for him. I mean, the kid's played phenomenal for Alabama so far. It does feel a bit weird to criticize a 17-year-old's play because he's supposed to be in high school. But if he is going to play college football and accept money for doing it, which Ryan Williams is, that's just part of it. You don't have to do that.
He
nobody's making
reclassified. Yeah, he could be playing high school football right now, but he chose to take a large sum of money. And look, and I think
good choice by him, by the way.
Absolutely. I think it's part of the growing experience. Like these guys, they used to not be ready for the next level because there were so many other layers to it. Now you're getting those layers out of the way early on.
Yeah. CPAP Plus, great people that will make your sleep better, great equipment and everything that goes with that. And just great locations. Our buddy Ush, who is part of the Pennant Grace and is up here with us, a lot of good friend, he had old technology. Like he showed me some of it. And I was like, dude, friends of mine have got better technology than you. Go get better technology. He went to CPAP Plus, and they walked him through the whole process.
Yeah, look, don't buy your mask or supplies from Amazon or online. Go see the folks at CPAP Plus. See what you're actually buying. 3 convenient locations for you. Pelham Highway 280 now open at Trussville. Free CPAP checkups, free filters, no appointment needed. They carry the best equipment in stock. Names like ResMed, React, Fisher Paykel. If you need it today, guess what? They've got it today. Also, travel CPAP machines are in stock as well. With over 200 5-star reviews on Google, folks at CPAP Plus are CPAP users themselves, so the people helping you know what it's like and are ready to help. Google CPAP Plus or stop into one of those 3 convenient locations and tell them the Next Round sent you.
And our friends at Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, keeping you in the game, 205-512-3885. If you missed it, I gave you the news earlier today that the big superstar lineman Tate Ratledge from Georgia had tightrope surgery, so he's out a few weeks, somewhere between 2 to 6 weeks, depending on how that goes and how his rehab goes. You can be rehabbed and brought back to the game with our friends at Precision Sports. Tweaks, pulls, pains, and breaks. They diagnose, treat, and rehab it. Locations in Jasper, Fultondale, and Alabaster, and all around the Birmingham metro area. Orthopedic care, so better together. Find your provider again, 205-512-3885 or precisionsportsortho.com/2024.
Jason, the MyBookie.ag chat room says the best play by Deion would have been, and 3 of you are witches.
Yeah.
We got your address. You so much cough the wrong way.
Got your names.
Hey, Brandon Marcello does the middle eight with me. A week ago, he was on assignment and only could do half the show because he had an interview. I knew where Brandon was, but I wasn't going to spoil the story there, and he gave no hints. The story is hit today. I've retweeted it. He had a sit-down with Jon Gruden, who says, I want to be a head coach again, but not in the NFL. I want to coach college football. If you're Florida, would you? Now, let me just say, not that this really matters.
Yeah.
I don't know where this is, but what's it called where they tell you where the story is? Or where you are doing the story from? The date, not the Dateline, but wherever you are.
I think it's the
Dateline, whatever. Lutz, Florida. So he's living in Florida.
Yeah.
Not that really matters. He had moved to Gainesville for a job.
Okay, first off, you got to get over the recruiting hump of what was in those emails that were wrongly, I guess, released by the National Football League or somebody there that got him fired.
I think you can get past that.
Yeah, I think if you...
I just don't know how good of a coach he is right now.
Yeah.
I have no idea. And
and
Florida
listen,
really can they take a chance on that?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess you can be taking a chance on anything you do.
I will tell you, I love Jon Gruden with my Buccaneers, but he won the world championship because of the work Tony Dungy and his coaching staff and the roster they put together, and just couldn't survive long enough to see it out with Jon Gruden.
Now, Brandon has talked to some people anonymously. One group of 5 athletic directors said, if I was in the market right now, would I interview Jon Gruden? Yeah, probably. One group of 5 athletic directors said he doesn't think he's a fit at Florida, but I would interview him. One SEC administrator called him untouchable as a coaching candidate. That's from inside the SEC.
Well, I think that shows you the tier of the job he probably could get.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if you're Florida, see, my concern, Lance.
I forgot what all. I know there was the Redskins, Commanders documents, NFL, all that.
Yeah.
Like I forgot what all was in that.
I did too.
But that stuff doesn't bother me. Like,
well,
okay.
I mean, your opposing coaches are going to dig it up. How impactful it would be on the recruiting trail, I really don't know. I just worry about these guys that have never coached in the world of NIL. are they able to do it?
Well, I mean, he coached in the NFL, so, salaries and how that works in the locker room and all that.
Yeah, but I'm not having to recruit based on it. That's what I'm saying.
It is just the recruiting part
That's
of
right.
it. I mean, to me, again, I go back to this all the time. The Nick Saban layout and design of how the recruiting process worked was elite, and others have copied it. So it was elite because they like doing it the same way. You see what Kirby does, same way they did it with Nick. And I guess he has good enough contacts. He could put together a really good coaching staff and have really good recruiters. John Gruden doesn't necessarily have to be out on the road recruiting. We know he evaluates talent really well, right?
I felt like he did. I think we say that because we all liked the series he did with the upcoming draft quarterbacks on ESPN.
The film room thing,
The film room thing. Maybe that makes us think he's better at it than he is, or maybe he is that good at it. I don't know. Those film rooms are entertaining.
I thought so too.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you give me 5 guys, put Gruden in there, and I'll tell you where he would rank. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Alex I'll give you 3 off the top of my head. If I'm Florida, Alex Golesh.
Okay, stop right there. Alex Golesh goes to Florida. You're USF.
Do you hire John Gruden?
You're in Tampa.
Yeah, get the band back together almost, right?
It would be a less of a risk, I think.
Yeah, and you've maybe put a few more people in the seats.
Yeah, rank these for me.
And he can bar Jim Leavitt's visor.
He could. That's true.
Nothing's changed.
He knows where the locker room is. Same stadium.
You're Scott Strickland's replacement because Scott Strickland's going to get fired too if they have to fire Napier. So you're the new Florida AD, and here's my candidates for you. Alex Golesh. I don't want you to rank them. Alex Golesh, Lane Kiffin, Jed Fish, John Gruden, and I don't. Do 4.
Another candidate. Clay mentioned it, and by the way, it's several places now. James Franklin.
All right, James Franklin. All right, so Lane Kiffin, Alex Golesh, John Gruden, Jed Fish, James Franklin. I give you those 5.
I'm going to contradict myself because Lane Kiffin hasn't beaten anybody of substance
You're
either.
about to put him number 1?
I would do Lane Kiffin probably 1.
Okay.
And then Golesh 2. I really want nothing to do with Franklin.
Okay, so he would be behind Gruden.
Yeah.
So you'd have Gruden 3 or Jed Fish 3? Now, these are just random.
I would go Gruden 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on Jed Fish either.
Okay. That's interesting that you would go Gruden in front of James Franklin, which I don't necessarily disagree with you on.
I don't know.
I'd probably go Kiffin, Golesh, Fish, Franklin, Gruden. I don't think I'd have any interest in John Gruden either.
Okay.
It seemed to be getting weird in Las Vegas, didn't it? He didn't seem like he was the same type coach after he left television. One more big thing here in this segment.
And I wonder if he needs money. Like, he could have all the money in the world, but this could be a money grab. I don't know.
I think that was a $100 million guaranteed contract, but he did not get the guarantee because he was fired with calls.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, he could have $25 million just sitting there and collecting interest, and he's never got to work again. Or he could be like, you know what? I need one more payday.
I need a paycheck.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or I'd already spent that $100 million guaranteed. I could be $25 million in debt.
That's true. You never know.
Dr. B, when your hair was a deficit, he turns it into a profit again, like he's done with LT.
Yeah, Dr. B is the man. We're going to be actually out at Dr. B's location. We'll give you more information on that. That will be coming up in October. Again, I do the non-invasive treatment 3 times a week through 30 minutes each time on the couch. That is it. My hair is more than doubled in thickness. Brown also doing that treatment. Call, schedule the consultation today, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training, and genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. B and the great staff today, 205-319-0316, t3hair.net.
Our Stu's LT mentioned Signetti yesterday, maybe too quick to move from Indiana to Florida, but LT believes absolutely a great hire there. 6 teams on Joel Klatt's Big Ten tiers 1, 2, and 3. Only one on tier 1 for you, Ohio State? It is for me.
In the Big Ten?
Yeah, I would say right now.
Yeah, Oregon's got to play their way back up there.
Close, though.
Yeah, they got to play their way back on tier 1.
Joel says 1 team on tier 1. Tier 2 has 2 teams. Oregon is one of them. Who's the other one?
He's going to say Penn State, but I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I've got to see more out of Penn State.
You guys don't have enough faith in Joel Klatt. He says it's USC on tier 2.
What's he going to say if USC loses this week to Michigan?
Well, then they drop off tier 2, I'm sure.
Yeah, Penn State, Nebraska, and Michigan. Michigan's the last one on tier 3. That from Joel Klatt today. Interesting. But he's buying USC now.
I mean, I think I am too. You sound like, Lance, you're fearful they're going to lose this game.
I mean, I think they could. I mean, I don't, the thing is, can Alex Orji, a guy that is 7 career attempts, can he really go out there against this revamped USC defense, who, by the way, is coming off a bye?
I don't listen to that. That just sounds absurd that you're asking him to do it.
Yeah, at least it's at home, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Hemp Hill Services will take care of your home, LT. All the heat checkups. You get that checkup?
Yeah, that'll be coming. 205-229-2090. Heating, plumbing, cooling, any of those issues arise in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And our friends at New York Butcher Shop, man, I can't tell you how many times I've swung by the 2 locations to get had some brats one weekend. I had some steaks one weekend. I'm going to get the wings soon for my football Saturdays. All the great sides there. They got some pre-prepared meals that you use all the time, the smash burgers. There's really nothing you can't get. A great wine selection there at New York Butcher.
Yeah, fantastic dessert. Stop in, see Jim and those great staffs. 2 locations, the original Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Bright Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Our friends at Milo's Hamburger invites you to join them in the fight against hunger in our local communities by bringing non-perishable food items to your local Milo's, including canned goods. When you donate a canned good or any non-perishable food item, Milo's will give you a free drink. Together, we can make a difference.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Hey, you feel that? That's fall in the air. And New Balance Birmingham got your fresh fall pair to kick it during game time and sport from the sideline. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280 right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1, find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2, stream it now. Miss Hour 3, download it for later. Miss Hour 4, well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
This hour always brought to you by our friends at Champy's, world famous fried chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Get ready for the tailgating happening this weekend. Plan ahead, swing by the to-go window, pick it up, and head down to Jordan-Hare Stadium to cheer on your Tigers, or just take it home and watch it all on TV. Great Mississippi Delta recipe tamales and that brined overnight Southern fried chicken and all the sides. Sterling and the crew, Champy's world famous fried chicken. If you've been with the show long enough, this name we're about to bring back on the show, very familiar back in our radio days.
Oh, he's back to doing sports talk up there in Northwest Arkansas, ESPN Arkansas, huh?
Is that what he's doing? Because the headshot I was looking at in the commercial break there looked like he was a motivational speaker.
Oh, he is. He's very motivational.
It was a well done headshot.
Yeah, Bo Mattingly is with us. He and voice of the Razorbacks, Chuck Barrett, do a show every single morning there in Arkansas. Welcome back, Bo. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. It's good to see you, man. This is like old times.
So mornings, though. You had afternoons, mornings.
Yeah, that's tough.
And these guys don't want to admit it. They wanted to do mornings at one time. They felt my pain after a couple of years. Mornings are brutal.
That's where the good shows are, though, right?
I don't think that matters. But how different are mornings to afternoons for you?
Oh, man. I remember following you guys. I got in Jim's truck one morning on the way in to do the morning show back in the day when we were doing the training day show for ESPN.
Yep.
Went to it. Illinois, they were there in 2018, and we got in Jim's car to go shoot a radio segment. You guys talking about the team and thinking, man, this is early. You guys do this every day. And I guess I forgot about that. Yeah. Show, and I'm like, holy smokes, for real? Like, what were we thinking here? Like, you think I get up early? Like, you think, oh, I'm a 6 a.m. guy. I mean, I can get up a little bit earlier. Totally different deal than getting up at 6, having a cup of coffee. Reading the newspaper or online or whatever you do and kind of easing your way into the day. No, it's like wake up at 4 and just hit the ground running, as you guys know. And it's been an interesting experience. But, Chuck and I wanted to do the show in large part because we just felt like there was a little bit of a gap in a show of record for Razorback fans. We both do other things. He's the voice of the Razorbacks. I still produce along with Jim Jordan Inside the College Football Playoff for ESPN and have a production company and do some other things. But I missed, like when you're not on the air, you listen to other shows and you miss sometimes being able to get in there and like find out some things that help people understand, hopefully, what's going on or bring in some sort of point that matters. And I'm passionate about that. And I missed doing it. Chuck missed doing it. And to get a chance to work with him. He did a show like 12 to 15 years before I did. And then when he left, I actually took his old slot. And so for about 25, 30 years in there, it was Chuck, then me. And then I ended the run in 2019. And then we got a chance to come back and work together. And it's been fun. As you guys know, working with great people's a lot of fun. And so we've really enjoyed it. But the early mornings are a real thing.
It is. It is. A show of record. I like that. So tell me, impact Bobby Petrino has had on this Arkansas program already. How big of an impact is Petrino?
Yeah, I'll go a little broader maybe than you were thinking there. But the impact first comes with he gave this fan base hope again. When you end the season last year, the way they did, the fan base, I was like, how are they going to sell tickets? And then they hired Petrino, and the fan base here has affectionate memories, not how he ended or how the firing occurred for things off the field, but how he went 21-5 in a 2-year period. And it was sort of lightning in a bottle for Arkansas because of the, difficulty that over the years that at times it's had winning. So, that you're bringing back all these great memories. The question is, what would it look like this year on the field? And I think, we did a lot of this kind of conversation going into the year, like how many more points is he worth a game? How many wins is he worth a year? And you figure he's worth, Arkansas was in so many close games they lost last year. 5 games, I think they lost by a touchdown or less. And how many of those games could they maybe have won if they'd have had Petrino? And so that's the kind of conversation, a lot of hope. So start with that. And then going into the year, like you see what they did against an overmatched UAPB team. They would go 10 for 10, offensive possessions, touchdowns. Oklahoma State, they run up and down the field, should have won, made some mistakes, lose the game. Last week, not as good, some mistakes, but still what you notice about this team, and I just got done talking to Jaquindon Jackson because I host the Hog Pod. We still do that. We interview players and coaches about their journey, their story. And I asked him about Petrino, and he's, just the confidence that we have in the plays that are going to work, and we know what we're doing is what he really brings to the table. So I think there's been a significant impact. How it all plays out, how Taylor Green develops as a quarterback, but it's night and day in terms of what they look like offensively last year to what they're trying to execute this year.
So, Bo, I am pulling for Sam Pittman. I think most people do. He just seems like one of those likable guys. But if it doesn't work out, better chance of being hired, Bobby Petrino or Gus Malzahn?
Bobby Petrino.
Wow.
I don't see Malzahn coming back here. Nothing against Gus. I like Gus, personal friend, long time. But if you ask the state like that question, if we did a poll question, and by the way, when I answer that, I'm not giving you any sort of insight on an administration or anything like that. I have no idea. And I fully expect Sam Pittman to be the head coach here next year because I think that they're going to improve as the year goes. This is a huge game on Saturday, I think, for either one of these teams to make a bowl game. But I see Pittman being back. But if he weren't, or he retired or whatever, the momentum that exists in this state, or the feelings of the fans in this state would be Bobby Petrino. I don't think there's any question about that if those are your two guys in a poll question.
There is a former Auburn player returning on the Arkansas sideline, Travis Williams, the defensive coordinator. And this is a guy Auburn fans know well, SEC fans know well. I may have been too critical on his defense. I've said I'm not sure either one of these teams have a very good defense. I look there, and look, this time of year competition can vary. As you mentioned, Arkansas Pine Bluff was one of the teams. What would you rate this defense? I look, they give up less than 300 yards a game, but they're also averaging 22 points per game. And again, one of those games, Arkansas Pine Bluff. So this Arkansas defense that will face Auburn is what?
I think the jury's still out. I think they got better in some areas personnel-wise, but like a lot of teams, because of the portal, what do we really know? And I don't know that they showed a lot at Oklahoma State, which even though UAB gave them a scare, last week they were a little bit in disarray on defense going into the UAB game. T. Will's wife had a baby on Tuesday. He missed practice. That almost never happens in terms of a coach missing practice during a game week, as we know in college athletics. They had some players beat up and missed some practice time. And these might sound like excuses, but I'm just trying to evaluate, okay, what happened there? And so I don't think they played particularly well last week, but I also don't think they've had to be really innovative or really show much. And so I'm curious to see if we see more stunts, more blitzes, more attempts to get to the quarterback. They haven't really gotten to the quarterback this year. And I'll be interested to see, like at Oklahoma State, I felt like that's a guy you don't really blitz because he's a seasoned 24-year-old quarterback that's been pretty good, and they get the ball out quick. And then you have the Ollie Gordon effect. So I didn't think that we'd see a lot of pass blitz there. It'll be interesting this year or this week, both offensively and defensively, to see what Arkansas brings out that we haven't seen yet, because I think there'll be some things.
I'm interested, maybe you got insider information with coaches or just your opinion here. If you're Arkansas, are you preparing for just Hank Brown, the new starter? Or do you also prepare for a little Peyton Thorne in case they go back to Peyton Thorne and some of the things he does? Do you go into this one preparing just for one quarterback or both of them because they play a little different?
I think what they're probably thinking is more of what they ran last week. if I'm not mistaken, you guys know better than me, but I think I heard Pittman talking about how they were able to do they added some more things with Hank Brown last week. And I'm sure that they've taken both things into consideration in terms of what they're going to face. I don't know if who's at quarterback at Auburn matters to them as much as just the scheme and what they need to be ready to stop. I think that's probably how they're approaching it.
I think the new thing they added was fewer interceptions with Hank Brown.
That's right.
I don't know how much new X's and O's.
On the others,
yeah, they talked about RPOs and zone range.
Oh, okay.
And those, I think there was a few more RPOs with Hank Brown. Which, by the way, that's an interesting name for a quarterback.
Yeah, should have his own Fox animated show after the NFL on Sunday. Hank Brown.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, so I think most Arkansas fans, Bo, thought that they were getting a downgraded quarterback from KJ Jefferson to Taylor Green. Watching Taylor Green a little bit at Boise State, obviously showed some flashes, was the Mountain West Freshman of the Year out there. But watching him early on, like if he can consistently throw the football, and I know this is a big thing that you got to get right if you're a quarterback, but his ability to just see an open seam and go. You can't control what that guy does as a defensive coordinator with his legs. I think Taylor Green has a ton of potential. Are Arkansas fans through 3 games kind of excited about Taylor Green?
Yeah, they are. I think some also are like, man, you got to hit open receivers. That every quarterback's got to be able to throw no matter how good you can run, right? Eventually. I think that'll come. I don't think there's a better quarterback coach. There's a lot of good ones. But Bobby Petrino is probably as good a quarterback coach as there is in the country. And I think that's one of the reasons he's had success over the years. And I think Taylor Green will continue to develop as a passer. He's got a good arm. We've seen him make some good throws. Last week he didn't have a good game, but he also extended a lot of plays with his legs, as you're referring to, turning something, nothing into something. And then made some big runs on design runs. I think Taylor Green has a chance to be a star. We'll see how his passing game develops. But look, we're 3 games into a roster and a brand new quarterback. That's 50 guys new and a new coordinator, new offensive staff, and so when that's the case, it seems like a luxury that you've got that as a tangible or intangible benefit to an offense that's still developing that you expect to be pretty good eventually. And as you're getting there, him being able to extend plays, the defense having to account for him as a runner, that only helps you.
3 things have changed since I last saw you, Bo. I've buzzed all my hair down. So I'm bald now. Following your trend, I need to shave it next. Second one, we own our own company. And the third one is we're a basketball state now. I don't know if you know this or not, but the Bud Light countdown, the tip-off is 47 days away. What's it like there with John Calipari all of a sudden?
By the way, I love all of those things.
Yes.
Congratulations on all of that.
Yeah.
And success you guys have had. Nobody's a bigger fan of that and betting on yourself more than me. So I'm happy for y'all. Man. The excitement around basketball here with Cal. First of all, it was just like people were shocked until the press conference actually happened. You're like, is this real?
Yeah.
And we'll see. I know Cal took some criticism at Kentucky about the new way of doing things and, is he going to adapt and all these things. Look, what Kentucky always was when he was there was relevant. Winning games in March Madness is a little bit of a crapshoot. I know that we all judge seasons on that, but the entire basketball season lasts a lot longer, and you want your team to be relevant. You want to go into games, big games, thinking you got a great chance to win. You want to have players that you think are going to play in the NBA and be first-round draft picks. He brings all those things. And, I think everybody's dealing with NIL. I think he fixed the basketball NIL problem right away. And so there's a lot of excitement about basketball. But we are still a football state during football season. I'm not taking calls on our show or walking into the grocery store and having many people come up to me and say, hey, what about basketball?
Wow.
this team can go to a bowl game this year.
What? How much
That's
bigger?
a strict rule.
How much bigger is Calipari's NIL budget than Sam Pittman's? I mean, what is the difference there?
I don't know the numbers, but I think the difference is that you might need $10 million, $5 to $10 million for a basketball program. I mean, you need twice that for a football because of the roster spots. But let's just say hypothetically, and make sure we heard hypothetically, they went out and got 8 or 9 guys and paid them all $1 million. Well, that's $8 or $9 million. You can't have a football program on just $8 or $9 million.
No.
But basketball, you can go out and you can get game changers, and you get 5 to 8 of those guys. I mean, that's a whole different animal than trying to figure out NIL for a football program, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's wild, man. Wild having Cal up there. All right, he is Bo Mattingly at Bo_Mattingly is where you follow him on social media. He and Chuck Barrett do a great morning show, starting it back up there in Northwest Arkansas. ESPN Arkansas is where you find that. Bo, thank you for the time. Good to see you again.
Hey, man, appreciate you guys. Keep it going. Love you guys.
All right, brother. See you, man. Love you. Bo with us on the Johnston RVCenter.com hotline.
And the show being brought to you by our friends at Wonder Fans. This new app you need to download. So, I mean, Brown's got a new 47.
Yeah, you can even do that. I see that. It's a good looking Dolphins hat. Did you just get in the mail? Very interesting blue, for the Dolphins.
Not the normal aqua.
Yeah,
the Dolphins have. I've had this since the preseason. Yeah,
you guys hate that I know this, but denim is a big thing this fall.
Okay,
denim is a big thing. That's got a little denim look to it.
Are you going to start wearing denim?
I may have a denim jacket in the works.
I like this. Is probably, I told my family when I got this. This might be my favorite Dolphins hat I've ever owned.
Okay,
and I've owned a lot of Dolphins hats. This might be my favorite one.
Yeah. It's a good looking hat.
Thank you.
Okay, so anyway, we started this by saying 47 gear is awesome, the 47 brand. How about this? You're in War Memorial Stadium. You're up in Little Rock. Download the WonderFan app. Any of these venues, any of these stadiums you're in, you can do this. Very important that you go on and download the app, though. Go to your app store, WonderFan, WUNDERFAN. WonderFan, first of its kind stadium rewards app where sports fans earn real rewards simply by cheering for their favorite team. All you need to do, head to the app store, download the app, check in once you're at the stadium, and let your earnings grow. It's that easy. During each game you attend, you'll earn in the background once you press start, and once you have enough earnings, you can redeem for cash vouchers to your favorite retailers like Dick's, Champion, Lululemon, 47 brand, and many more. Also, they've got weekly ticket giveaways as well. You can use your points to enter. New rewards are added weekly. Again, just head to the App Store, search WonderFan, WUNDERFAN. Start being paid for your fan loyalty. WonderFan, it pays to be a fan.
Scott, Keith in the mybookie.ag chat room says, can we see Brown's hat again? There you go, Dolphins hat, little Dolphins patch there. It's a very nice hat, 47 brand. Thank you. By show of hands, who on this set, and I know you have, and I'll admit I did, has worn a denim button-down dress shirt, denim dress shirt?
Oh, yeah.
So denim's back. What about
by the way, denim's never left. I was watching a movie called The Outfit with Mark Rylance. I'm sure some of our listeners
like
have seen
him
this.
as an actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor, but I thought it was a little like critically acclaimed. I thought it was good, but it wasn't great. A couple of Disney actors in it, but he was talking about one of the reasons that this girl was asking him why you're one of the greatest craftsmen in the world and you can make these handmade suits. Why are you in Chicago or whatever? And he's like, I had to get away from denim. He was just talking about denim's like this fad that's coming in. This was like in the 40s or 50s.
Right.
It's a period piece, but denim's going to be out quickly.
No, never has left.
No, jeans. I'm not talking jeans.
You're talking about denim button-downs?
Like for the females, denim dresses, denim jumpers, denim bags.
Okay, how do you know that you read in Vogue now, or
I get these newsletters, man, that are by gender.
Now by gender,
is that a word?
I don't think it is. But you just made it. I even, back when you used to wear ties to church, which I don't know why we ever did that, but I even wore a denim shirt with a tie. I've done that.
Oh, wow. I haven't done that.
You didn't do that?
I've done it, yeah. I've done
Did
it.
you
I've done
have
it on TV?
We did this on a Mystery Fifth Hour on TV. Denim
I
shirt
think
with
I
a tie.
hosted Sunday night on NBC 13 one time with a denim shirt and a tie.
That was like ESPN2 Dunaway. I was like,
That's when you had to go to HR the next day. Hey, these women were grabbing me at work.
Well, welcome into warm pizza, I think I call it. No, I don't know. All right, 4 downs time. Slice, LT's got them for us. Slice, I don't care if you're wearing denim or not. Just go ahead and slide into Slice.
You know what? I think I left the 4 downs in there.
You printed them out?
You do them on the fly,
on your
right?
phone. I thought you had them on your phone.
I do them on my phone sometimes, and sometimes I do them on note cards.
You want me to do Slice and you go get them?
Yeah, you just talk about Slice a little bit.
Yeah, Slice Birmingham Dunaway. My favorite slice pizza, the soul pie. It's got that Kaneka sausage, black eyed peas, turnip greens. I get it without the onions. I'm not a big onion guy. You can have red onions on it if you like. That's my favorite. What's your favorite?
Number 2 for me is the Hot Mama. It was number 1. It's back to number 2
What's
now.
number 1 now?
The GOAT, the OG. I am back to the spicy Hawaiian. It's just so good. And it's consistent every time. And don't sleep on the smoked wings.
Oh, they're very good. 5 great Birmingham locations. SliceBirmingham.com. Birmingham area locations, SliceBirmingham.com.
LT's not back yet.
Rockstar, we start with.
No, not yet. I would say that how many locations?
That's 5, Jim.
Can you name them?
4 4-down questions, 5 Slice locations.
That's right. Montevallo is 1.
Lakeview. Vestavia. Let's get out 5 4 downs.
I told Taylor, I was like, "Can you take my 4 down? Hold on, it might be in the phone."
Why would Taylor take your 4 down?
Because I do one of 2 things. I put it on a note card and I leave it on my keyboard in there, or I put it in the phone.
Did Taylor cop to it, or did she?
You know what? It's in the phone.
Okay, here we go.
But I just don't understand why Taylor would have taken she is a prankster though.
Yeah, I'm sure she loves a good prank.
She is a prankster. So maybe
first down.
I'll show LT today. I'm gonna take his 4 downs. she has this laugh too, this cartoon laugh afterwards.
Ronaldo, 48 today.
No, soccer player.
Oh man, hey. My little one, she's playing soccer, and she is all about Ronaldo and wants his jersey. Those soccer jerseys are steep, my man.
Okay, Ronaldo or George Clooney, better career?
And Ronaldo's got like 50 different jerseys. I don't know which one to buy her.
Yeah, that's the thing with soccer jerseys.
Yeah.
They don't come out in the same looking uniform all the time. They're all over the place.
They're all over and then you got all his international jerseys and all that. I am going to say Ronaldo has had a better career. I don't know much about the beautiful game, but there are 2 names I know, he and Messi. So I'm going to say he's had a better career than George Clooney. George Clooney's had a really good career.
Clooney is worldwide, right?
I guess Ronaldo. So is
Ronaldo.
What?
Ronaldo has like a bajillion fans on Instagram.
He does.
He's
big
the biggest guy in the world, soccer-wise, and it's the most popular sport in the world.
I actually think, and I always hate that we always go by money, but if we just pulled up money here, and I know Clooney's had a successful tequila company, maybe
Casamigos probably is the number 1 selling tequila in the world right now. I would guess.
But I think Ronaldo, I'm going to say
760 for him.
Ronaldo, I was going to say double.
Ronaldo's double George Clooney?
That's what I was going to say.
Oh,
I don't know. 760 for Ronaldo. George Clooney net worth is...
It's got to be 500.
Not popping up. So 500. Yeah. Lance nailed it. So a quarter more.
Yeah.
I'd take either one.
I'd go Ronaldo, but Clooney's close.
I like Tyler. Clooney went downhill after ER. He went nothing but uphill after
ER. ER was huge. Huge back in the day.
It was an ensemble cast, though.
I know, but it was
Clooney,
huge.
he had his best opportunities from ER.
You know what doesn't stand up? Because I thought about it one day in the summer. It was this summer I thought about it because it's on one of the streaming services. I said, man, ER was huge. I used to watch that every Thursday night.
Thursday night on NBC, you had Friends, ER, and there was one more. What was the other
Cosby
one?
Show back in the day.
Mad About You for a little bit.
Yeah, Mad About You. Yeah. Thursday night was great.
And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go back and watch ER. 2 episodes. First one sucked. I said, well, I got to go to the second one. Second one it does not stand up. Does not stand up.
Yeah, I would. Clooney's, to me, his best was Up in the Air. I don't know what you would consider his best role. Now, I did love the Ocean's movies, too. Ocean's 11 or Up in the Air, Lance. I don't know. But Ocean's 11 is much more an ensemble cast. Up in the Air, he was the star.
Yeah, Up in the Air was really good.
Yeah.
Seinfeld was on Thursday nights.
Yeah, it was. Thursday nights were great. Yeah.
Second down.
Jason Sudeikis is 49 years old today. Jason Segel, Jason Sudeikis, who has the ultimately better career?
I tell you, I haven't followed either one of these careers. I'll go Jason Sudeikis.
I'm going to go Sudeikis as well, but I'm going to have to be like a goldfish. I'm going to have to have short memory on this. For me, it's the most recent series he was in that's slipping my name right now. What is it in my mind? The soccer show that he was on.
Ted Lasso?
Yeah, Ted Lasso.
I didn't like it.
How much longer? I thought the first season was good. Second season, I tapped out quickly, but How many more seasons are in the can?
It's already over.
Oh, it's done. Okay.
Yeah, and it ended pretty good. It was very emotional. It was a good ending.
Did he get shot?
It was really good. I'm not going to give it to you, but there is
Shot?
That's what happened to the Bill Paxton guy in True Love. People are like, man, it's one of the worst endings of all time.
Wow, he got killed.
Yes, if you haven't seen, not True Love. Is it True Love?
Big Love.
Big Love,
yeah.
Yeah, did you watch that, Rocky?
I never saw an episode of that.
I saw the first couple of years.
I know Reed was all in, and he was one of those, oh my God, he got shot in his driveway.
First couple of years, not nearly enough nudity.
Wow.
I'm going to go with Jason Sudeikis over Siegel. I do love isn't he the guy that's in the Leaving Sarah Marshall?
Yeah, Siegel is.
Yeah,
Forgetting Sarah.
Yeah, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Lance Armstrong, 53 years old. Better career, Lance Armstrong or...
Fill in the blank?
Neil Armstrong.
No, let's go Brian Kelly, ultimately.
Oh, Lance Armstrong. Now, he cheated, and I don't think Brian Kelly
boy,
had.
I mean, we have shit on Lance Armstrong and
We
not
have, but
very
the guy
likable guy, but still, even if he was cheating, how dominant he was.
Didn't he win 6 Tour de France?
Yeah, but don't you think everybody else was probably cheating?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think there was probably rampant cheating in that sport, but he did get caught, and others haven't. I'm down on Brian Kelly right now. It's a bad time to ask me this question because I have campaigned on this show against the chat room. The chat room is going against me on this, the mybookie.ag chat room. Milkman on Twitter, that's like the one thing he jumps on us for is we're too good to Auburn, too bad to Alabama, and too good to Brian Kelly. The chat room and Milkman, I think, are starting to be right on this one. This guy, I thought he was elite when he came to LSU, but I have been disappointed in what he's done at LSU. And I know they won Saturday, Lance.
I know.
But do you feel good about them coming out of that win Saturday? I don't either.
I'm circling UCLA, LSU. It's a lot of
they'll
points.
Destroy UCLA.
Yeah,
UCLA's awful.
Not Brian Kelly. I'm going to go Lance Armstrong. I mean, in the documentary, I think one cycling person said, if you took out Lance Armstrong for cheating and everyone else that was doping, the guy who finished 61st would win the Tour de France. So it was that widespread.
Well, I remember it seemed like every third or fourth person was wearing the Live Strong bracelet.
Yeah,
that was all.
That was pretty strong.
Yeah. I mean, the guy did survive testicular cancer and kept riding a bike.
Did it with one nut, right?
Yeah, that could not have been. You know,
got two, you feel like you can balance them with one.
I know.
Where does it go?
I think it is much more difficult with one.
Oh, that's a better question. Who's better with one ball? Lance Armstrong or the guy who used to play first base for the Phillies?
Oh, Kruk?
Yeah.
Armstrong had a better career. I like Kruk better.
Yeah. Not a lot of one ball athletes that's successful.
That is true, Jim.
Yep.
Fourth down.
The late James Gandolfini would have been 63 years old today. Is there one actor more synonymous with his character than Gandolfini? I know Walt White with Bryan Cranston, but can you guys think of anybody else?
There was a movie, Gandolfini. Robert Redford was in it.
The Castle.
The Castle. And all I could see was Gandolfini as Tony Soprano watching that movie.
Can you or TV2, does that count TV?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
yeah,
I know movies.
Yeah.
I was wondering if TV counted. You can't watch the guy that plays George Costanza,
Jason Alexander,
anymore and see him not as George.
He was
Costanza.
in Pretty Woman before that, I believe. But I mean,
I think any of those characters. I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus has done the best job of separating herself from that.
I mean, I don't know what else Michael Richards has done other than Kramer.
Yeah, I thought.
I know he's been in some other stuff, but nothing big.
I thought about that the other day. Did he die?
No, he's alive. He stepped in it a little bit on an interview.
Oh, that's right.
Or no, it was a stand-up show. Yeah. And then he tried to apologize on, I think it was the Tonight Show with Seinfeld.
Yeah, it made it worse.
Was a guest, and it just made it worse. Yeah. It was so awkward, and people thought he was kidding, and they were laughing.
Yeah.
And he was trying to be serious, and it was just.
But it was Kramer, so we were laughing.
Yeah, it was super awkward.
But most of these
Veep's really good though.
I've heard Veep's good. I've seen like an episode. But like even Larry Hagman, had other work, a lot of work before he did J.R. Ewing. But I think he's one of those guys, if he did top 5 TV characters of all time, I don't know if anybody was more pegged with one role than James Gandolfini was.
Maybe so. Like, I don't remember anything he did prior to Sopranos. Have you seen a lot of work he did prior to that?
Yeah, so I saw, if you haven't seen the David Chase documentary, the 2 parts on the making of The Sopranos and basically his vision behind it and who the other guys that were reading for Tony Soprano. But Gandolfini, went to Rutgers, was an actor for a long time, and he did a lot of 8mm was a really bad film with Nick Cage. He was a hitman in True Romance. Where
I remember that.
Very was it a pleasant scene you'd call it, Rockstar, with Patricia Arquette?
No, and Gary Oldman, one of his best characters with their dreadlocks.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, Drexel. But anyway, Gandolfini had worked before, but once he got that role, it was not
that was it.
Next level.
I mean, Michael Imperioli's about the same way from that same
Yeah.
show. I don't think of him as anything other than that character.
He's the guy with the gray hair?
No, that's he
Tony
just
Sirico.
passed. Tony Sirico. He passed not too long ago.
They've got a great story about his hair and how it had to be perfect.
Michael Imperioli, he was dating the what's her name? Adriana. And he was like the protege. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for people. I
know who you're talking about now.
20 years ago.
That is
bad ending for him, I'll say.
5 locations of Slice. Get into the Bajagi Brothers, created by the late Jeff. His brothers Jason and Chris continue to celebrate his legacy. Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, newest location. Right there in Edgewood. Stop in for a slice and a salad. Pick up a couple of pies on your way home. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
Okay. Anybody make any mistakes today so far? You forgot 4 downs was on the phone.
Oh, yeah. That was a big mistake right
some
there.
dead wood.
Slowed us down a lot.
Brownie?
I think I got another clean sheet today. That's back-to-back days for me, Jim.
You're never going to be honest about mistakes or not, right?
Well, I mean, you name one. You're asking me if I've made one. If it was a critical mistake, you'd remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
See?
One.
Well, look, if you need to have tree extracted, if you just need any work done around, like I've got those, I don't even know what they're called. They start out like small Christmas trees and then they get massive.
Firs?
What are they called? Is it a fir?
Fir, spruce. I think maybe spruce
could
is what
be
you're
a
thinking about too.
spruce.
Yeah.
I don't know, but when Graves was out extracting 4 trees from my property, they were like, we can come out, we can prune that, we can do this, we can do that, fix it up. They are experts in all of this. Family owned and operated for over 25 years right here in Birmingham. Graves maintains a fleet of specialized cranes and lifts to get the job done right, prevent damage to your home. You've probably seen them rolling around town. Hurricane season is supposed to be the worst in years. Don't wait to get your tree work done. Protect your house and family today. Call for a free estimate. Graves will come out. They will give you that. They will tell you exactly what needs to be taken out. Not only will they extract the trees, grind them down, take them off, they'll do all the work for you. 205-281-6100. You can scan that QR code that Scott has pulled or visit graystree.com.
Follow Jon Lunceford on Twitter @jlunce.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
NASCAR is back with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega, Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Race. The weekend includes Buck and Dega, a rodeo and fireworks on Friday night, Jake Owen in concert on Saturday, and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Get your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hey, this is Matt Roth, the franchisee of Walk On Sports Bistro in Birmingham. With the kickoff of football season, come visit us at one of our 3 locations, Stadium Trace, Greystone, or Trustville. Come enjoy our scratch kitchen menu while watching one of our 80 TVs. Whether you're looking for a pre or post game celebration, game day or date night, we've got you covered. It's all about the win at Walk On Sports Bistro. Walk On, where everybody needs a little playing time.
Hey, you feel that? That's fall in the air. And New Balance Birmingham got your fresh fall pair to kick it during game time and sport from the sideline. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280 right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Buying that perfect home is one of the most important financial decisions you'll ever make, so it's crucial that you have the right partner to help you through the process. Hi, I'm Lisa Zeig, Vice President Mortgage Loan Officer for Bryant Bank, and I'm here to tell you that we are that partner, making it easy to buy with confidence. We offer a variety of mortgage products to fit your unique home buying situation. That kind of hassle-free approach might not be what you'd expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give me a call today or visit one of our 18 offices across the state of Alabama and let me show you what banking beyond expectation is all about.
The 2024 Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming back to Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. Reserve your spot today by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Enhance your weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Rave, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. Reserve your seat, your spot in the infield, or your camping site for the Yellowwood 500 weekend Friday, October 4th through Sunday, October 6th. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Ohtani did it last night, hit another home run. 48 home runs, 48 stolen bases, 11 games to play. I want to see him get 50-50.
He's going to get 50-50.
Braves are in trouble. They're 2 back right now, aren't they?
Say,
that Braves-Mets series, I mean, it is crucial for the Braves.
You don't want to be 2 or 3 down in a series that you need to take over at that point.
I mean, they would like to shave it back to 1 before that series, obviously, or even if, in a great scenario, but I just don't know, man.
That baseball update brought to you by our friends at Inverness Country Club.
Yeah, our friends at Inverness want to remind you they have got memberships that fit absolutely everyone. Maybe you've relocated to retired. Inverness, great place to network, from the social membership to the golf membership, childcare, also a big plus. You and your wife on a day of golf or tennis, guess what? You can drop the kid, go have yourself a day on the quarter course, maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? The best days happen at Inverness. Did you know that you don't even have to be a member in order to hold an event at Inverness? Inverness can hold anywhere from golf tournaments to corporate meetings to wedding receptions and anything in between. We will be doing a live show from Inverness Country Club in October. We will give you more details on that. But to take a tour of this unbelievable club, call Aaron today, 205-991-8608 or online, iccalabama.com.
Okay, you've heard Josh Heupel try to play nice about going back to play his old school. Brent Venables was on the coaching staff when Josh was getting recruited. And Brent yesterday, now the head coach at Oklahoma, gets to tell a nice story about when he was recruiting Tennessee head coach Josh Heupel.
Now, true serum here. We wanted Akili Smith, Mike and I. We were only here for a couple of days, and we were at Kansas State, and we knew Mike recruited California, and Akili was coming out of whatever junior college, Mount Sac or somewhere, and he was the prototypical. Dude, I can't remember how big he was, but he was a big, strong, strapping dude that could spin it. He looked the part, could run, could pass, and we didn't know anything about Josh, but he was outside of the office windows. There's a quarterback. He's on a visit, and there's maybe 2 guys on a visit, and he was one of them. And he was outside we had an old turf field down there, and he was playing catch, and again, I'm saying this with incredible appreciation and respect for Josh. Couldn't have been more wrong. Don't judge a book by its cover. And he was skinny and just frail, and it was in the middle of winter, just kind of pasty, and the ball was coming on. It was southpaw, probably hadn't played in a couple months, and the ball was wobbly. Josh could occasionally do that. And we're like, that ain't it. And Leach, he didn't want to bring Akili Smith in on a visit. No, not interested. And so, lesson learned.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I learned two things there, that Mike Leach was recruiting Achilles Smith. That's interesting because that does not seem like a Mike Leach quarterback at all, Achilles Smith.
That's why Mike said I didn't want to bring him in.
Well, yeah, but he was recruiting Achilles Smith till he saw. And the other thing I learned is that Josh Heupel was skinny.
I'll tell you who Achilles Smith was. He was Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, Achilles Smith was.
No, he really was.
Till he got hurt.
And it was just a wrong time, wrong era of college football for him. But Achilles Smith would have been really good
didn't work in the NFL
today's
either.
college football. Heupel going back, I've said it before, you do the side-by-side. Heupel now and Heupel, a Heisman runner-up quarterback who won a national championship, you wouldn't peg that.
You would not think they were the same person.
No.
Yeah.
Skinny kid back then.
Never the same type of racing at Talladega. It is a different race every time you go there. Trash is coming up in a second, but let me remind you of all the great stuff you get on a Talladega Speedway weekend. It's coming up October 4th through the 6th. Camping all week long. Free camping is available there. You get the enhanced experience by going into the Talladega Garage experience presented by Cool Ray. And then all these events: truck playoff race Friday afternoon, rodeo Buck-and-Dega on Friday night, Xfinity playoff race on Saturday, Jake Owen, no relation to Randy Owen, in concert Saturday night, and then the Talladega Superspeedway Yellowwood 500. Get your tickets, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, or 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Let's do a little trash, Rockstar. Dun, dun, dun.
We got a little frozen computer.
Oh,
That's
no.
okay.
We got a
That
frozen
happens.
computer.
Let's do our favorite one.
Meet Eric Weinemeyer. Eric has climbed Mount Everest, except he's gay. Gay, he's blind. Is that good enough?
No, you go to that one a lot.
Oh,
I was wanting that guy
After the
who was
break,
a
we're going to
comedian.
interview Eric Weihenmayer, who climbed the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. But he's gay. He's gay. Excuse me. He's blind.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, buying season out there. Friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Veteran founded here in Birmingham, offer loans throughout the country. While the area they serve may have grown, their commitment to Birmingham and veterans hasn't changed. Before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. No cost or obligation to find out what you qualify for. You can get more information. Go to their website, mortgageright.com. Call the Birmingham Highway 280 location, 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239. Equal housing lender. Our friend Brett from New Mexico said Morgan County is still dry.
Morgan County is still dry.
So, some people, now this seems confusing, but there were people in the mybookie.ag chat room that said Coleman County is dry, but Coleman city limits is wet. So if you're outside the city limits, can't buy alcohol. Inside the city limits, you can.
I can see that. Let us know in the chat room.
How does that work if you buy a six-pack of Bud Light in the city limits and then you're driving to your house in the county and you get pulled over?
As long as you legally bought it, it's okay.
And you're going to show
Well,
them
I mean, that would be the same as if I go to a dispensary in Las Vegas and I buy edibles and then I drive them back to Birmingham, that's not legal, is it?
Are you intending to sell that? Have you bought so much that it looks like you're intending
Well,
to
you're
sell?
not intending to sell the beer. I'm just saying, is it the same thing?
What if I'm having a party and I got 10 cases of Bud Light?
Now you're in trouble. Now you need Smokey and the Bandit there. Everyone's saying Brown is absolutely accurate today. Continues, Chad said.
Thank you.
Richard said spot on there with Brown with that.
To be fair, I moved it up when he said it.
Oh, did you really? That wasn't the one?
No.
Oh, I thought I'd
It was
pegged it.
the cat meow.
Yeah, I like the one Rockstar where we're at a Molly Hatchet concert and we just nod out of respect for the music.
That was at the old.
That guy
Yeah,
died.
what was that dude?
Uh,
Or who was that guy?
He died, yeah.
yeah.
Massive heart attack?
I don't know what it was. Bro.
I can't remember his name. He was awesome though.
Jim, do you like the Cure 2020 apologies? As excited as I am.
That always makes me feel bad because I'm like that girl. I get too
By
excited.
the sounds
So
of it.
Boost
no.
Noodle is a new type of Japanese instant ramen designed to be consumed with one hand by simply sucking the contents out of a small pouch.
Oof. Sounds
Now,
terrible.
instant ramen is probably the most convenient food money can buy, but one Japanese company has found a way to make it even easier to eat. Nippon Ham recently launched Boost Noodle, type of hearty pork ramen designed for gamers who want to curb their hunger without having to take a break from what they love most.
I tell you,
Boy,
I'm
they
not-
get after it over there, don't they?
They do. But I'm just not eating out of a pack. Like, I mean, I'm not in space. I don't need to squirt food in my mouth.
I mean, I'll do the applesauce. You know, we used to have the
Yeah.
applesauce things for the kids like that.
Yeah.
Lunceford, you were a gamer, toured the world gaming. Did you ever find yourself in the middle of a competitive game, like having to have food so bad you would squeeze it out of a tube?
Well, fun fact, actually, one of my sponsors when I was a gamer was a product called Gamer Grub that was like basically chips, but in a container. That was like one of the first times they put chips like in kind of a can instead of in a bag. So you could just set it in your cup holder and then like pick it up and eat it.
So like Pringles?
I mean, it was like an off-brand thing. It wasn't like it was Doritos or Pringles or something like that. But it was like they did like chips and they had like Chex Mix kind of knockoff stuff, and it was that. And like you would basically pick it up, pop the top off or whatever, and it was like having a drink, and you would just eat like that.
Oh, so you could have trail mix in that cylinder and.
That way you never had to actually touch it with your fingers and get like the dust and all over it.
Well, that looks disgusting. What they're sucking out.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like bad
Honestly,
toothpaste.
I tried. You know.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
So a 38-year-old Japanese man recently arrested for phone stalking his own wife, calling her over 100 times a day anonymously and saying nothing until she hung up. Very weird story. On July 10th, 31-year-old woman from Japan started receiving strange phone calls from someone who would just remain silent until she hung up in frustration.
Hello.
Now, this went on for weeks because the calls came from an anonymous phone number, so the young woman couldn't just block the calls.
You're in my house.
Most days she would get dozens of phone calls, but sometimes the phone stalker would ring over 100 times per day. Luckily, the phone never rang during the night or when she was playing video games on her husband's phone, which ultimately got her thinking about who the mystery caller could be. Eventually, 31-year-old woman turned to the police to help her solve the mystery, sharing with them her suspicion that her husband could be the stalker. Following an investigation, officers confirmed the woman's fears. On September 4th, her husband was arrested for violating Japan's anti-stalker law. When asked why he had harassed his own wife for over a month with his strange calls, the man simply answered, quote, "I love my wife. I made phone calls to her without saying anything."
Nothing shows love like that. Well, I tell you, that's a weird story right there. That's perfect for trying. I don't know what he was getting after there. What was he trying to do?
I don't know.
Catch her doing something like.
Yeah, why does she keep answering an unknown number?
Yeah,
like she was bored with him.
Yeah,
You're always
man.
on the phone.
Somewhat local, has won a family trip to Hawaii and other prizes after eating Chipotle for 1,000 consecutive days. A quest he documented on social media for hundreds of thousands of followers. Dylan Wareham shared his 1,000th day of Chipotle on Instagram and TikTok on Monday. Went with his standard order: burrito bowl with double chicken, white rice, easy on the salsa, lots of cheese, a little lettuce, and a side of guac. Not much else about the meal was routine, however. According to Chipotle, the company held a celebration at their Mobile store on Airport Boulevard, covering meals for his friends and family. According to the company, he also received a all-expenses-paid trip to Hawaii for him and his family, as well as several branded gifts. He goes on to say, "My family and I will be headed to Hawaii first thing tomorrow morning." Now, about a month ago, Wareham had also received something he had been coveting for more than 3 years. One of the chain's famed VIP cards, also known as the Celebrity Card or Burrito Card. According to the terms of the recent giveaway contest, card holders can use the card to claim one free meal per day for an entire year. So this guy's not even done with his Chipotle. 1,000 straight. Here would be my question: what does he do on Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Day?
Yeah.
So here's the question I have. I mean, what does this trip to Hawaii you think cost?
Probably cost. I don't know if they're doing it cheap or not. If you're doing it right, probably $12,000.
Yeah, I would say,
which is about what he spent at Chipotle.
Yeah.
So
and they're getting all the pub off this.
I know he got to eat. So he's going to
it's well worth it for Chipotle.
Well, yeah, Chipotle. That was a wash for them.
If you do the math, 3 years is 1,095 days. So basically, he did it for 2 3/4 years. Basically.
Yeah, and probably spent 12, 13. I mean, that's probably the meal Lance described is this day and age probably $13.
I could do our friends at Taco Mama for 1,000 straight, but I would have to mix it up. Like I would have to do tuna, and I have to do chicken, I have to have chorizo. You'd have to mix it up to do the exact same meal for 1,000 straight days.
Dylan's bowl, is that his? That's his bowl up there, right? Is that what that?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
Dylan's bowl. I'll take Dylan's bowl.
Yeah,
not Dylan's bowels though. He's done this for 1,000 straight days. Am I right?
So this one out of Bedford, Ohio, police reported they found an 8-year-old girl shopping at a Target store. What's a little more interesting, you don't necessarily see an 8-year-old pushing a cart around. She actually took a car and drove to Target on busy roads. Now, on Sunday morning, Bedford police took a call from a missing child. As they began to investigate, police also took a call concerning a small child driving east on Rockside Road. According to this report, officers eventually found the car in the parking lot of a Target store. Although the exact route the girl took is unclear, Google Maps show the store is more than 10 miles from where she was reported missing and about a 20 to 25-minute drive. Now, the girl was not hurt, but told officers she did strike a mailbox during her travels.
Yeah, just a mailbox. Dunaway did that.
I would tell you that the big hard right turn there had to be pretty. That's where the mailbox was. Where she started going down the map.
Right after she crossed 480?
Yeah, it's like boom. Hit her mailbox there. But give her credit. Does she still have to take the driving test when she's 16?
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah. It's 24 minutes, it says. I mean, is that the Reminderville Target? Is that the one she went to in Reminderville?
Yeah. Okay. A reminder, young lady, you're only 8.
Yeah, it's all right.
Welcome to Reminderville.
Yeah, you're right. The hard right turn was probably the toughest part.
Yeah, it was all downhill.
Finally, Serbian influencer Stefan Janikovic got dangerously close to a bear living in Bosnia after entering a den. Now, I don't know why you would enter a den of a bear. Video posted on Instagram September 13th shows Jankovic inside of the den, flipping his camera around and showing the bear, which is returned to its den. Curiously takes a few snaps of Jankovic's head before stepping inside and walking out. Now, visibly terrified by the encounter, Jankovic posted the video with a caption saying, quote, on the edge of life. Now, it is unclear how or why the influencer ventured into the den. According to the Serbian media, there are 2 rescued bears living in the area, and they can regularly be seen with a keeper.
Yeah.
So I think he cheated. This is a pretty much docile bear that's been rescued.
Oh, you think so?
Until it bites him in the face.
Yeah.
What is
Good
that?
point. Rescue bears.
It's in the den.
Ironically, he's got one more TV than Dabo Swinney does in his den.
Well, he is living simple in that den. I just thought a more extravagant den with like some bones laying around.
Yeah.
Photo 3 may have this guy's bones.
Yes. Daniel says, dude went in there to smoke a bowl. I don't like. I know it's a docile bear. Do you still trust that though?
No.
Would you go in a den? Yeah, oh, it's a docile bear. Yeah, it is till he smells me.
Yeah,
and I look like good lunch.
I wouldn't trust Carson Steele's alligator either.
No,
or the duct tape. That is Trash Today, brought to you by.
Hey, if you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Whether you're looking for your first home, your final home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right, one-stop shop for mortgages. Visit them online, mortgageright.com. Call the Birmingham office, 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, so in this day of NIL, you get a lot of funny. How big is the point deficit Marshall going to play in the horseshoe?
Massive.
40 last I checked, Jim, there at mybookie.ag. You can get Marshall plus the 40 if you like.
So Charlie Huff, former Alabama assistant, head coach at Marshall, he understands the deficit that he is facing. And he understands the difference in the roster. So he has a suggestion to to Ohio State players who may one day want to play for Marshall, maybe even before this weekend. Here is the great Charles Huff.
I feel good about the track we're on. Trust me, I know where we are, but I feel good about the track we're on. And I feel good about the players we have. Would love to have some of those guys from Ohio State too. So if they want to transfer on down, we've got a Tudor's Biscuit NIL, all you can eat. So if any of those guys that run really, really fast at Ohio State like Tudor's Biscuits, I promise you, all you can eat all day if you transfer here. So, but yeah.
Yeah, Tudor's Biscuits.
Sounds good.
Imagine it's pretty good there. He's trying to get some Ohio State players. This gets you to a serious topic. Ryan Silverfield, the head coach at Memphis, saying after their big win at Florida State, he thinks in the very near future his job at Memphis and other group of 5 jobs will become more difficult. He thinks sooner or later, and I want you to tell me if you think it's going to be able to happen, sooner or later you will have an IR, like in the NFL, you'll have to put a player on the IR, and he believes at that point a Power 4 team could go into the portal and pull somebody up from, say, a Group of 5 team mid-season.
Well, not if you go on and establish the rules that you can't do that.
Well, I mean, I do think, and this is what nobody wants to consider. So if you look at the NFL IR, like Tua officially is going on the NFL IR, so he's out 4 games. I don't know if they've done that with Puka.
Minimum 4 games.
Puka's, I mean, so 6 guys on the IR.
Yeah, minimum 4. You got 6
Yeah,
on
and I
the
think
IR?
you can only have 8 for the entire year.
And you got 6 starters on there right now?
5,
Jeez.
yeah.
So that's how that works in the NFL. I mean, if you are paying a player and he's under contract, which I assume this is the way this is going to work, you could choose a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year contract if you're the school or whatever. If you're paying that guy and he's not playing, if they're going to limit the rosters, which I think they're going to do, there's going to have to be some recourse to that. So let's use Isaiah Bond as an example. Let's say that he quit playing during the season, not after the season, and you're Alabama, and I've got a 75-man roster or a 60-man roster. If this guy's not playing, that is critical to me. I mean, just Sunday, Washington and New York were playing. Graham Gano gets hurt. New York they kick one with their punter and missed it, and then they had to go for 2. It was the difference in the game.
Yeah.
Because you know why? You've got one kicker on an NFL roster.
No backup. The punter has to do it.
That's right. There's no backup. That's what you're going to run into in college. All of a sudden, you're going to have to make choices like, can we carry 2 punters? No. Can we carry 2 kickers? No. We need this many players. So if a guy decides, I ain't playing, man, I'm sitting out, what do you do in the season?
Well, and you think about it. It all comes down to money. Mm-hmm. If you are a Power 4 and you want to dip down and you're willing to give a university $1 million for a quarterback that's playing good in season, they might need the capital.
Yeah. I mean, you're right about that. I mean, you just saw schools canceling games and paying out money. They might need that money.
Credits, school, I guess you won't worry about that anymore.
I'm not even sure there'll be students anymore, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm not certain about that.
So at that point, I guess you could trade if you wanted to.
That's what I'm saying is like if I need a quarterback and let's use West Virginia as an example. They're off to a 1-2 start. Let's say it continues to sink, right? And they realize this is not a great season. We may as well get some value out of our quarterback. He's a senior or he's a junior. He's in the last year of a contract with us. Let's send him to Alabama, and we can get, a freshman at Alabama that can play, right? I mean, I could see that happening. People aren't going to like it.
Yeah, maybe Dylan Gabriel would have been that guy midseason last year for Oklahoma. He's at Oregon now and got the Ducks back looking good as they this week, after falling down to number 9. They're off this week. So too is Alabama. 2 teams off. Make that 3 teams when you throw Georgia in there, out in the top 10. Some matchups this week that are involved, top 25 matchups. The biggest one in the country, though, seems to be Tennessee on the road at Oklahoma to start SEC play. We had Dusty Dvoracek on the show earlier. You can get that, and Bo Madley talking Arkansas at Auburn. All those podcasted at Apple and at Spotify. All right, final thought of the day here as we get ready for that big game down to the Plains. Think you like Auburn more than Arkansas? Where's Auburn better than Arkansas? 15-second answer.
Running back?
No.
Oh.
No.
The combo of Hunter and Alston?
Jackson's better than the combo.
One guy's better than the combo? Okay.
Oh, I think I went running back, too. Who else? Where else are they better?
Receiver.
Auburn's better at wide receiver.
Cam Coleman need to be back. Well, maybe not to make that true, but you want to see Cam Coleman back as quick as possible, obviously.
Yeah. A little bit more Simmons is what everybody at thebarnauburn.com is saying. Go check out covercrimson.com, covercrimson.com, and thebarnauburn.com, thebarnauburn.com for all the contents about Alabama and Auburn. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Great content. The premium stuff starting at just $1 a month. The other stuff, it's free. Go watch the shows, enjoy the content at covercrimson.com, thebarnauburn.com. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.